Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Wrecking Crew podcast, man. Got the nice to have the guys join me today. We're just going to jump right into it. Guys, introduce yourselves, where you can be found, and we'll roll into this podcast.
Yeah,
All
how
right,
you doing, everybody?
go ahead, Fireboss. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. Uh, this is Fire Boss. Basically, I was a former indie developer and looking to get back into it. You can find me on Twitter, and I still have a few videos up on YouTube because I used to also do my own Xbox podcast as well as make a few beats and everything. So yeah, just swing them through and check me out.
Nice, man. You want to go, E?
No, go ahead, Sega man.
All right, man. This is your boy Sega Man. It's really good to be on the podcast with my brother Sega Forever, and my other brother. We started the Exile podcast, man. The Don King of Xbox, E-Rock X, and of course my main man Fireboss, man. Used to rock out with us, man. It's good to be in another podcast with him, man. It feels good. Feels like the old days, man. And you can always find me on my YouTube channel, man, at Sega Man 101 on my podcast, the Alpha Podcast, and I am the new manager of the heavyweight Chitlin belt buckle champion of the world, TJF Cutmaster. So I'm promoting him. So give my boy a shout out, man, and go check out the Lions Den.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to see his first fight, man. The last dude standing is the last dude standing is 5 packs of fucking neck bones and a case of Newports. But anyway, man, this is E-Rock X, man. It's always great to be here, man. And whenever there's some news, it's got to be dished out. Whenever there's some falseness need to be dealt with, that's when the Wrecking Crew comes in, man. We gonna make this happen, man. The Wrecking Crew is here because there's some falseness and some narratives have to be wrecked. And it's great for me to be here, man, with Sega Forever, Fireballs, and Sega Man. Let's get going.
Yeah, it's me, Sega Forever. So we're just going to jump right into it, man. Just really quickly, man. I just wanted to get you guys thoughts on what you're all playing.
Oh man, I'm on the Gotham Knights that you gifted me, man. I'm enjoying it. Gotham Knights is fuck. I almost cursed. Can we curse on this podcast? I have to ask first.
I tell people that just because I don't.
You know what?
I tell people when I do it, but dude, I say this to people all the time, man. You can do whatever you want in this podcast. I ain't anybody's daddy, so you just
all right. I'm gonna beat myself out then. Gotham Knights is great. It's awesome, man. You know what I mean? I'll tell anybody, man, stop listening to these critics. The hate campaign for Gotham Knights started months before it even came out. Oh, it's only 30 frames per second. Like, man, get out of here with that nonsense. I've been playing it, man, and I'm enjoying it. If you're a DC fan, man, this is it right here. This is the first significant DC game since Injustice 2. Like, yo, man, this thing is fire. You get to play 4 different characters. Of course, I play as Batgirl because the view is impressive. But I mean, the fighting is incredible. The graphics is tight. I mean, Gotham Knights, man. If you're into action games and comic book games, Gotham Knights is a must get. I can't thank Sega Forever enough for gifting it to me, man. It was unexpected, man. But that's how the Xbox crew does. They always look out for each other. And you never know who it's going to come from. You never know who's going to just look out for you and be like, "Yo, man, you know, I heard you, your dick was in the dirt. So here you go, man. I get to see Gotham Knights."
You forgot. Beep, boop.
Yeah, yeah, beep, beep, beep. But yeah, and I still haven't. I'm almost finished a Plague's Tale Requiem, man. That is my vote for game of the year. That is just Asobo Studios, man. They turned in a masterpiece, and I really got to get back in on the Atari 50th anniversary collection, guys. There's been collections before.
Oh yeah.
The Capcom collections, they're good. The Capcom collections is good. The SNK collection, not that good. But this Atari 50th anniversary collection is fantastic, man. Basically, it's all of the stories and videos from the company's 50-year history, man. The trials, the tribulations, the ups and downs. They've amassed every game they've ever made from the Atari. Well, not every, but most of the hits from the Atari 2600, 800, 5200, the something called the Lynx, the Jaguar. Yo, man, it's all in there. This is a very impressive collection for $40. And if you're a gaming historian like Sega Man and Hebot, this is a must-have because I don't have no space to store 975 consoles like Sega Man do. So this is right in my wheelhouse. So man, the Atari collection, 50th anniversary collection, it is a must-own for people who want a slice of history, for the people who started this. Yeah, I know the Odyssey and the Fairchild, who was designed by a black man, by the way. They came first, but it was Atari who perfected this and put it out there to the masses. Yeah, man. It is Sega Man. This is a great collection. But anyway, that's what I've been on, man. I'm trying to finish Plague Tale Requiem. Gotham Knights is fire, man. Can't thank you enough. Unlimited Production, he told no lies when he said that game was fire. But I knew it was fire. Usually when everybody's hating on something, that's when it's fire. You know what I mean? So
that's true.
That's what I've been doing, guys. That's what I'm up to.
All right, man. You want to go, Fire Boss?
Yeah, Fire Boss.
Yeah. Let's see. I've been dabbling a little bit in different things. I just recently downloaded and tried out Gungrave Gore, which just released about I think like 3 days ago. It's on Game Pass. I'm not familiar with the. I'm familiar with the franchise, but I've never played the first game. That was, I believe, exclusive to the PS2, if I remember correctly. So like I said, I can't really speak much on it. I mean, it's for what it is. It's to me, it's a bit slow pace, but like I said, I held in there up to like two stages and had to break away to go do something and just haven't had a chance to get back to it. But most of my time has been sunk in between Pentiment, which I have to definitely recommend to everybody. Is I know it made people raise eyebrows and cause a lot of knee-jerk reactions to people breaking their legs. But at the same time, it's like, all I can say is give it a shot. You'll be surprised because it's like, man, this is actually pretty good. And I'm usually not into these types of games.
I forgot to mention Pentiment, Fireballs. I heard people, everybody in Fireballs, everybody's taste is different. I heard people saying, "Yo, man, it's too much reading," but I find it intriguing. I've never thought I'd be around in the 15th century, being a manuscript artist around all these cloistered monks. But there's a mystery there, and there's an artistry to this. And it's these guys, Obsidian, they're trying to do something different. You understand what I'm saying? This game is different. Is it a lot of text reading? Yeah, it is. It's a lot of reading. But I mean, you can click the damn button and make this shit go by quick. But like, if you go too quick, you be messed up because some of the stuff you say to these people, Fireballs, has an effect later on in the game. But yeah, I'm impressed with Pentiment, man.
I'm like this. For the ones who be saying that, I'd be like, boy, I'm telling you right now, if LeVar Burton could channel his power and appear right before you, smack you in the back of your head, like so. That and also the other time sink so far has been Vampire Survivors.
Nice.
Oh wow,
that game is awesome.
Yeah, I mean for what it is, it's like you look at it, it's like, man, why is this damn mobile phone game on this thing? But
did you get the same feeling I did? Was I downloaded it, I started playing it, and I'm like, what? Why do people like this game again? Right? And then when the game starts picking up, and then they finally hit me when it started picking up. I'm like, okay, now I know why. And now I'm addicted to it too. So
yeah, it's that's like I said, it's from one indie developer to another one. It's like I have to give them their flowers on that one because it's like you took the formula of keep it simple, stupid, and you dialed it in just perfectly, where you only have nothing but the directional thing, and that's it. and and you're good. So other than that, I need to eventually get back into playing the two Pillars of Eternity games and stuff. I need to get back into those. So because I really want to have those, try to clear those out before Avowed hits.
Oh yeah, that's
okay.
yeah.
And shoot, if anything, especially before Starfield hits, because I can tell you right now, Starfield is going to probably wind up eating up all my doggone time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And this is why I don't complain, man. This is why I'm not complaining about these games getting pushed back, dude. We got more than enough to keep us busy.
Dude, I don't get that either, because see, I'll put it to you like this. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't gonna lie on myself. At first, when they first posted and I read that, yeah, I was among the people like, God damn it, what the fuck was going on over there? But then after a while,
disappointed too, man. I was just because that was my game looking forward to this year. But yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but then I calmed down, and then I remembered something. Didn't these motherfuckers, every time we turn around, always kept on going on and on about like, oh, Bethesda, look at them, look at them messing up another one.
Mhm.
And I remember that Todd spoke on that before. That's one of the things that they enjoy about this new, Microsoft being the new bosses. They don't have this cluster job of money grubbing executives hovering over them, trying to make this game run on things like fridges for friggin' toaster ovens and stuff like that, just to eke out some extra money, and worst of all, making them speed through stuff. That's why we've been having so many problems. But another thing I tell a lot of them clowns that go on about the Bugfesta, because you know who started that. You know what side of the camp started the Bugfesta thing. The blue camp started that, and there's a reason why. All the way from Oblivion, from Elder Scrolls Oblivion. All right, because I remember my old man had a PS3. He's more the PlayStation person. He had Oblivion, and I had it on my 360. All the stuff that he was experiencing, all those bugs, I never seen any of that shit happen on the 360 version.
Nope.
All right.
Because it was easy to develop for.
Yeah, because like I keep telling people, Creation Engine, well, Game Embryo, and Creation Engine, they're Windows-based engines. They're always they're dialed in to make use of the DirectX API system.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things. And see, what PlayStation has been using is they use that BDOS, basically a knockoff of Linux. Well, not a knockoff, but it's a fork off from Linux. So you're talking about open source stuff. That's probably one of the reasons why they keep getting hacked. Because anything that's open source, all communities have to get their hands on it. That's one of the hard set driven rules about using anything from the GNU, is that you have to let the community get their hands on it. So, like I said, I'm only spitballing on that, but yeah, man, dude, it's like that's where the Bethesda thing comes from. It's like they tried to make this game run on something that was not meant to run on, and now you got people doing T poses on top of the mountain where you meet the dragon at in Skyrim, doing T poses and floating off into Rhapsody. So, yeah, man. But so it's actually good that they decided to hold it back for one more year to do just a little bit more polishing instead of waiting to the end of the year to throw out a patch or something. That's good. So we can work with that.
Just really quickly, that's another thing too. You see a lot of these stories being released in the media about stuff that's going on between Microsoft, Bethesda, Todd Howard, and stuff like that. We already know Todd Howard. The relationship that Microsoft has with Bethesda directly is unbreakable, right? That's why I kind of tend to not listen to these people at all. So all the people out there is like just hating on the game just to hate it, and we know why. Right? Now Bethesda is underneath Microsoft, and in fact, Pete Hines talked about that when he was getting crucified about it the year after, right, when he was talking about, because people kept on hounding him about their games being on multiple consoles, which we all knew it wasn't going to happen, right? And so Pete Hines realized, like, and he said it in an interview, kind of like off, like a moment, when people have that moment of clarity, not meaning to say, right? And then he basically said, yeah, it's a little bit different when you're with Microsoft, right? And then I did that video talking about baptism by fire. I'm like, yeah, well, welcome to the party, dude.
Yeah.
This is what we deal with all the time. So, as they say, buckle up your loins. Get ready, man, because that's how it's going to be here. I'm sorry, Fireboss. I didn't mean to cut you off. Anything else?
No. That's it. I'm good.
Yeah. So for me personally, I made the mistake of wanting to play Ni no Kuni.
Oh, that's the other one. I'm sorry. That's the other game I've been playing. I'm sorry.
Well, I had it downloaded, and so I just felt like playing something that was a little bit more RPG-ish, right? So I tried to play the other game that I had in my downloaded and it was broken, which I was kind of surprised. It's like the second game I played in Game Pass, it just wasn't working. And so then I switched over to Ni no Kuni, man. So if you like anime and you like storytelling, right?
What JRPGs?
That's a story. That is a story. I was telling all Xbox fans in the last podcast, and it's okay, man. It's okay if people does that, man. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I have noticed that it's just force of habit. Sega Forever and Fireballs. A lot of Xbox fans were just so dug in because of the endless harassment from those assholes over in the Sony camp that we just crap on any PlayStation game. But the fact of the matter is that they have had some masterpieces. Nothing that they've done. It's always somebody else did it for them. And Ni no Kuni was one of those games that came out on the PlayStation 3 that we heard about for ages. It literally is one of the best Japanese RPG games ever made. The artwork and the cutscenes are by Studio Ghibli. If you don't know who they are, you probably have seen one of their movies at least once in your life, Princess Mononoke or Spirited Away or something like that.
Howl's Moving Castle.
Fireboss, my dude, yeah.
Legend of Porco Rosa.
Yeah, man. Okay, man. It's a story.
Hey, don't forget the one that started it all.
My friend Todoroki. Oh, Kiki's Delivery Service. That's right. Yeah.
My neighbor Totoro was I think the first one before Kiki, but I think more people jumped on Kiki than Totoro.
Okay.
Well, Totoro kind of set the stage, and it has like dude, my daughter wears Totoro gear.
Wow.
That's how long lasting that brand is.
That's a storied RPG, man. So when people out here, I could be abrasive. I can be abrasive over the last few years of some of the things I say. When people say that I hate Japan and the Japanese, it's so stupid. It's so off base. I usually know more about the Japanese than they do, than the people are saying that I hate the Japanese. It's so stupid, man. How the hell would I know about Studio Ghibli? And how the hell could me and Fireballs run off all of this stuff about Studio Ghibli if we hate the Japanese? But like that's a storied RPG. And I would tell any Xbox fan, you're doing yourself a disservice to not at least try these games. It deserves to be owned, Ni no Kuni, but it's in Game Pass. And again, it exemplifies everything you guys just said. Everything you got. I didn't know Gungrave Gore was in Game Pass. That's news to me. But the vampire game, Ni no Kuni, it's in Game Pass. And you can try all of these games for $15 a month. Sega Forever. Why wouldn't you? It just makes no sense to not. I mean, I wish they had a grocery club where, man, you can come in and take whatever you want, $15 a month. Man, we'll be there every day. We'll be there. We'll be there every day.
Now, see the thing is, in a case like that, that's when you can start talking about like, oh, they're losing money. That's when you can talk about a case like that. But when it comes to like software and stuff like that, software and movies, no, that's not the same.
That's like trying to say that Netflix is losing money. I keep for a company that's losing money, they sure are putting out more and more original productions. Like damn, I'm getting ready to check out Slumberland next week. I don't have to figure out what I'm gonna watch for Christmas Netflix is my go-to. They just came out with, and I'm gonna get back on topic. They just came out with Wendell and Wild last month. For a company that's going out of business, they're not dependent on nobody. They coming out with original shit. So like Xbox took a page out of Netflix's book and just throw money at it. And that's why everybody hates Xbox. They just throw money at stuff. Well, so what? So did y'all. So did Sony. So did everybody else. If you got money, throw it at something. I wish I had money right now. I'd throw it at everybody. Here, take this money.
You know, I was laughing because what was happening, right, is like, and we know what community, right, we're talking about, right? We would say something about Microsoft, and the very next week we get a game come out in Game Pass that would address that issue. I mean, it was like they've been doing this all year, and that's what would be cracking me up. He's just sitting there watching this stuff happen. And you know, funny, the thing that's really funny is that it looks so amazing, right? It's because I play it on my Series X, and I have a TCL. It's the one that Tuck always talks about. I have the 55-inch version.
Okay.
And so when I play that on there, in fact, I watch all my anime on there, on the TV because it looks so good, right? And so I looked at that and I was like, okay, so we might not have gotten all the games, but when we get stuff, we get the best.
Oh yeah,
that's the best. I mean, this game looks amazing. That's what kind of drew me in, and I kind of killed two birds with one stone because I'm watching an anime basically, and I'm also playing a game, right? So
yeah,
but like you said, E-Rock, the only problem I see with me and Ni no Kuni is I'm just gonna buy it because that's just one of those Game Pass has a ton of games. Remember, they were criticized that they're just gonna have a bunch of dumpster diver type games, and then when they started dumping all these games in there, dude, they have games that you just can't finish in Game Pass, man. And the game ability, because look, I'm playing Ni no Kuni, I'm playing Grounded because I finally went back and played that because they re-released.
God dog it! Why the fuck I left out Grounded? I finally got back into Grounded since the full release. God dog it! See, you see how bad it is. Awesome, you see how bad it is.
It's horrible, right? So that and then I'm on Pentiment too, right? And the thing about Pentiment that blew me away, it's actually you can tell it's a labor of love. Right?
Oh yeah,
made that game. It's just dripping with like. You know, and that's why he said what he said. You know, this is the game that he's always wanted to make, right? And not necessarily we're going to make this game. If it wasn't for Game Pass, you wouldn't have a game like that. And I 100% believe that because this game, you know, it breaks all the taboos, man. It's going in a different direction. It's very narrative strong. You got to actually read. You know a game. You know you're in trouble if you don't like reading, dude. You're going to be in trouble because one of the selections in the beginning is to tell you how do you want your script. They literally ask you what script do you want this in because if you pick the wrong script, man, you're gonna have a tough time with this game, right? But and then like with Vampire Survivor, same thing. You know, I'm having the same issue with that, dude. It sucks up a lot of my time and energy. But one of the things I can equate it to E-Rock is it has a similar thing like Robotron. I heard somebody say that earlier. I wish I could shout that guy out.
Right.
But the bottom line is the reason why we're talking about this on this podcast is because I'm just getting tired of everybody telling me that Game Pass has no games, that Microsoft has no games, that Game Pass has trash. We own the system, we all have the service, and we all play the games. Right? And like I was saying to Sega Man earlier, man, I hate this because I feel like Game Pass, I'm not gonna lie, it's becoming like a job. It's becoming like a job for me. Like the stuff I do at my job when I gotta do somebody's payroll, right? I gotta do payroll, I gotta do manpower document, I gotta do all this kind of stuff. I gotta set my time up. That's what I feel like now when I'm playing Game Pass. Right, because it's just much content, like you said.
That's like a good thing. That's like, and we all know who the people are who are saying that Game Pass has no games. We all know the people. They were saying this when the Tomb Raiders came over. They were the ones saying this when they were the ones saying this when the Final Fantasies came over. They were the ones saying this when all of these third party games was dropping day one, like Outriders, or I forgot what that game was that came out last year. You know, they're mad because their game service failed spectacularly. They're mad because we eating good over here while they celebrate 1 or 2 games a year. We're celebrating 10, 20, and 15 games a year. It is what it is. But see, this is why you don't get all wrapped up in your feelings about a box. This is why you don't cheerlead for a box. You know, it's okay to be fans. We're all fans of Xbox. I guess you're an Xbox fanboy. Okay, and I never see anybody go into the Philadelphia Eagles stadium and say, "Oh, you guys are Philadelphia Eagles fanboys." They'll look at you, and then before they throw you over the 700 level, they'll look at you like you're crazy before they throw you out of the fucking stadium. It's like, yeah, we're Xbox, just like you guys are PlayStation fanboys, but like y'all exhibit like a hate because it's not our fault that while y'all was busy pushing these single player over the shoulder narrative games, Phil Spencer was working on Game Pass. It's not our fault that while y'all was trying to kick Xbox, y'all thought they were down 2016 and 17. It's not our fault that Phil Spencer was working on the Mazur servers. It's not our fault that Phil Spencer started Game Pass and started putting games on PC because he saw something, and all the true visionaries do. Vince McMahon, back when he had his acumen back in the 80s, this great concept promoter called Steven Starr, Bill Gates, all the visionaries, the Beatles, all the visionaries, they see stuff down the road. And so as I was criticizing Phil Spencer for all his moves in 2017, canceling Fable Legends and so forth, and listening to all of the garbage from Crap Gamer and them, we had no idea these guys were putting a plan in play to make Xbox relevant for the next 40, 50 years. Guys, Xbox now, they are what I call leveraged. They're leveraged until 2046. Some of us will not live to play all of these games. Some of us will not live to play. I know I'm old. I'm 53 now. They have got so many intellectual properties now, Sega forever. They don't have to rush anything out now. They don't have to. You gotta push Starfield back another year. Go ahead, do it. Who cares? Let the people crow and bitch. Oh, look, it got delayed. It got delayed. Because when it comes out and when it's brilliant, they're gonna be mad at that. When the next Halo comes out and it's brilliant, when Redfall comes out and it's brilliant, this is what they do, and they do it Sega forever, and they do it Fireboss because PlayStation's coming to an end. They know it's coming to an end, and they're like I've always said, they're like that band. You ever see Titanic? They're like the band. They playing. The boat's sinking, and instead of them hopping their asses on a life raft, they still playing. They still playing their violins. That's what these people are. And these people are in the media. These people write for Forbes. These people write for IGN. These people are in major news outlets who don't have an editor. They're not being vetted, and they're just spreading this fanboy filth out there and misinformation to go and write an article, Paul Tassi, on Forbes saying that Xbox hasn't had a major game in 2 years is not just a flat out lie. It's egregious. But that's what these guys do. And I don't let them get me angry anymore because they're scared, Sega forever. They scared one to admit that they was wrong. They're scared because they know that PlayStation can no longer subsist under their old business model of these big budget bangers, these exclusives. God of War sold 5 million copies. 5 million copies out of the 43 million PlayStations are supposed to be out there? That's bad.
Did they bother to mention that a good bit of them were probably bundled?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
That's one thing Sony loves to do is bundle the hell out of everything. They bundle stuff more than an orb weaver spider.
It's just we everybody here on this podcast, we all, it's not like it used to be when you can get Sega Forever angry, Sega Man angry, Fireboss angry, myself angry. We now know who you guys are. We can identify you guys easily. Oh, Vampire Savior, that's not a game. Oh, Pentiment, that's not a game. You don't ever hear no gamer saying that shit. You don't ever hear no gamer saying that shit. It's only the PlayStation audience who has been taught that a game has to be this third person, over the shooter, cutscenes, narrative heavy games. And if y'all like games like that, you guys should be praising the Plague Tale Innocence Requiem. But you're not talking about that. Do you know why? Because it's fucking, to me, it's superior. It's superior. Thank you.
It's a damn threat to God of War. And real quick to interject on you, E-Rock, sorry to do this, man, but
no, go ahead.
Yeah, it's funny for all those so-called quote unquote bangers. Yeah, I'm doing the air quotes and shit. Why is it that there's more engagement with Xbox games than there is with your own games? I don't understand that. Please explain that to me.
Come on, Fireball.
I'm like Lieutenant Data. Please extrapolate. Jordy, if you like PlayStation, why are the games sucking? Shut up, Peter. Shut up.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Just
Sega
simple.
Man. Sega Man, did you go yet or?
No, I was waiting for the brothers, waiting for them to be
Okay.
done.
I'm sorry, Rock. Go ahead. I just
Man, I thought Sega Man was asleep again. Go ahead, Sega Man.
oh no.
Oh, you know what, man? I'm just listening to y'all playing this Vampire Survivor, man. I reached level 40 on this, man.
Oh wow.
Nice. Yeah.
I reached level 40 on this. I like it so much I bought the shit.
Wow. That's
You
what
know
I'm talking about.
So, you know,
But
it's
just level 40. Good lord.
yeah, it's pretty good for me. To be on a game, like long like that. I'm addicted to this game, man. I mean, Phil Spencer, he's playing it 24/7. You know what I mean?
Man, that's almost fire.
He's playing it on here on his PC, and he's been on it for it looked like a couple of days.
You should see Jason Ronald's last tweet and stuff. He just defeated Death. And
Damn.
Did he? Oh my gosh. Dude.
Yeah,
That is OP, man. That's ridiculous.
So I know I saw one pony tweeted in there saying like, oh damn, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
But there's
man.
5, right? There's 5 of them, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
I killed one.
Yeah.
it's fun. I mean, it's funny. It's funny, Here it is, Xbox executives. They I guess you could say, if it was the drug game, it's like they break the number one cardinal rule and never get addicted to your own product. But they play the games and stuff. But yet over Nintendo side, for what everybody says about Miyamoto and what's his name who does Smash, Sakurai and all them. Dude,
Yeah.
you don't never hear about or see anything about them jokers playing games. Same thing with like Jim Ryan and Kaz Hirai and what's the name? What's the dude's name? The one who's over SIE. Basically, he's directly under Jim Ryan. He used to be in charge of Guerrilla Games. I want to say Andrew House, but I think House left when Layden left.
Oh, okay.
That's what I want to say. But either way, you get the idea. It's like, they're just there for business. I mean, they don't engage with any of their content and stuff. And that situation with Pokemon, with the new Pokemon game, probably explains it too. Because if anybody in upper management at Nintendo, cracked that game open, let me give this a try. Oh, what the fuck is this dog of shit? What is this? They would have been like throwing the Switch out the window and making phone calls and stuff. Like why is this dude doing the telescopic ET neck? What's going on here?
But I've been playing that, man. I've been playing. I think E-Rock's probably passed me on a Plague Tale. I'm at this part. I'm still at that part, E-Rock, where she's fighting, trying to find her brother. It's like it's the board's all like smoky, ashy, and it's like I think there's the two dudes are fighting, and she's got to fight also because her brother. She got to find her brother or something like that. I think it's pretty far into the game. I don't know if it's near the end. I think it might be. I'm not sure, but I've been playing that. In my opinion, that's game of the year.
Yeah, man.
So I've been playing that. Playing a few of them.
Yes, it's nominated, but it won't win. It's nominated in several categories. But here's what they did, and I'm gonna let Sega Man get back to it because I don't know if you talk about it later. I know we're gonna talk about it Sunday on the Exile Podcast Thanksgiving show. They made sure that every PlayStation game is nominated like 9, 10, and 20 times.
Oh yeah.
they level the playing field like a motherfucker. It's like damn.
I went on his thread and I called him out, Jeff Keighley. I said, okay, let me get this straight. So the deadline is the 18th. Mm-hmm. You said this yourself. Why are we showing these games? Why are you showing this list and it's only the 15th?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it was before that. No, it wasn't even the 15th.
You called him out, Fire Boss.
It was probably, I think, maybe the 14th. I'm talking about like a whole almost what, like 2 weeks out. I'm like, why are you showing this list now, dude? I said Pentiment is getting ready to release And you knew, I said, you knew a game that's coming from the motherfucker of all motherfuckers of storytelling, Josh Sawyer, doing something in the vein of the multi-award-winning Disco Elysium. You knew that was going to be a threat. Yeah, I said, you knew that was going to be a threat, and that's why you did this.
Yeah.
He don't care. All he cares about is propping up his favorite company, Sony. That's why I call it the Sony Shill Awards. Like,
they have to do this, man.
Bias awards.
Yeah, they have to do this because, just like E-Rock said, Sony is fading. They don't got nothing. They're still bleeding out from the doggone from the announcement of ABK being bought. Their stocks are still in limbo.
Mm-hmm.
So this is they're still losing a lot of investor confidence, and I imagine there's more confidence being lost with the crap that Jim's doing, flying all over the world, like little plane is in the character stage select for Street Fighter, Brussels,
Japan, Brazil,
India.
We can actually shift gears to that. Sega Man, that anything else?
No, man, just been playing these these Game Pass games, man. I really like this game, and like Fireboss, said, it's amazing if you think about it, guys. Phil Spencer said he's trying to get that mobile market, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's a testament to that. This game is from the mobile market, and it's very addicting. You know what I mean? So, like I said, these games, like this little game like this, it's only like $3. It's a very addicting game. It's a fun game. You know what I mean? And I just keep going back to it. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, like my slogan, man, like I said, we're always eating good over here. We're gonna be eating good for a very, very, very long time, man. You know what I mean? Over here on Xbox, man. Now that Satya Nadella said he's 100% on board, it's over. Curtains. Because you got the big boy saying that, if you want to play ball, we're going to play ball. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. I'm very satisfied, like Sega Forever said earlier. You know what I mean? As a consumer and, heavily invested in the ecosystem of Xbox, I heavily invest in the Xbox, man. Spent a lot of money with Xbox. And, they're doing good by me. You know what I mean? So that's all I got to really say about it, guys.
I know we were talking about the AKB, which is Activision King Blizzard.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So, So it just blows, dude. I know that I've been listening to y'all's podcast and everything. I know other people have been talking about it and they're tired of it. Dude, I absolutely love everything that's going on. I just absolutely love all the drama that's getting played, right? Because I have nothing on the Marvel side to watch on Disney Plus, so I might as well just enjoy Sony's house burning down. I mean, just watching all the hoops that they're jumping through and all the robots that to try to shut this deal down has been kind of entertainment to me. But yeah, so
they really have no clue what the fuck they are doing. They don't know. This is like some crazed white dude who just came across the Necronomicon and decided to go ahead and light some candles in a dark bathroom and paint some turkey blood all over the wall. It's like, you don't know what it's like, Jimmy, you don't know what you're doing. You better stop. Because a lot of people have been pointing out that by what he's doing, I'm sorry. It's just that this stuff has been eating at me. It's been eating at me, and I've been wanting to try to get into somebody's, show to kind of get this off my chest. Because the one thing I noticed by everybody that's talking about it is everybody's talking about one side of it. They're not going into it. And the first thing I want to say is, oh, I'm going to report on it because, I want to make sure that, I'm not, I don't bullshit the news and all this stuff like that. But you're not talking about all spectrums of what's going to happen. Just like this message just came out where it's like, oh, it looks like the FTC is going to sue the block. But you're not explaining the full situation of that article when Politico put it out. The article, like a few other people say, is it contradicts itself. Because the key thing is that they don't have a ground to stand on to block anything. There is no evidence. They know that as well as anyone else. There's no evidence. And another thing is, just like the CMA, and especially, the CMA, UK, in the EU, they really don't have any grounds, and they really do not want Microsoft to bring out their lawyers because none of them have the funds and the resources to go toe to toe with them. Because right now, E-Rock should know this, being that that's his former stomping ground. The UK is hurting bad. They really hurting bad over there financially. And you think their people want to hear something about, oi, man, let me get this straight. You messing about this video game thing? They don't want to hear that stuff. They got more pressing things than to hear that you about to lose a court battle and more British pounds because of a game. They don't want to hear that mess. It's like, see, over there is different than over here. Whereas, we have politicians that screw up. Okay, fine. Just don't do it again. Over there, no, they'll kick in the door and drag the dude out into the middle of the town square.
Yeah.
So
basically, with that, Sony just called in their last favor to obviously people internally in the CMA because that's always been PlayStation's territory over there since the PlayStation 1 since 1995. Their biggest seller over there was FIFA, obviously. But times change, things change. And what it's so futile because in every merger that I've ever seen, all of these corporate mergers that have come and gone, AOL, Time Warner, Elon Musk buying Twitter, the Activision, Xbox deal. If Activision's books and everything is above board and the board of directors want to sell, and Microsoft's books, as we know, is above board, there's nothing you can do to stop this fucking sell. You can go to Brazil, you can go to the CMA, hell, you can go to Run DMC. Ain't nothing going to stop this deal. It's a done deal. I've never seen a deal stop once the board of directors said, "Yeah, we're selling." So you can cry, you can bitch, you can moan all you want. And the news came out that Xbox and Phil Spencer, they offered PlayStation they were going to give you Call of Duty for 10 years. I knew they were going to let you keep that shit. They will give you a deal for 10 years. And Jim Ryan turned that shit down. So now guess what? As I guessed, and I don't know shit about nothing, as I guessed about two months ago, y'all have until 2024 now to have Call of Duty. That's on y'all. Be mad at yourselves. Nobody asked you.
There ain't gonna be no concessions. I don't want to hear that shit either. There ain't gonna be no damn concessions.
Fireboss, why would you work with these guys and they being dicks? We offered you 10 years. You don't want it. So now the deal ends in 2024. I just guessed 2024. I didn't know if that shit was real. I didn't know that y'all only had a couple of years left of Call of Duty. That's why Sony been so scared shitless. Because your mighty God of War don't mean nothing compared to the money you're about to lose once Call of Duty roll out. So I mean, it is what it is. Y'all focus on the wrong shit.
The other big reason why they're afraid E-Rock, and we'll say it again, is because they don't want that shit on Game Pass. Because they know if that shit goes on Game Pass, listen, let's cut the bullshit out. Everybody that's capping hard, talking about, I don't care about paying $70, that's bullshit. If you could play Call of Duty day and day, with all the maps exclusively for whatever time it is, all the fucking DLC, all the skins on that platform for just $15 a month, $180 for the year, you goddamn best believe you want to see mad people go buy it and migrate to the Xbox ecosystem, whether they're playing PC, whether they're playing on the Xbox. Because Sony is not going to put Game Pass on their ecosystem, because then they will have to pay Microsoft. Sony is not going to put their games day and date on their service because their shit does not have enough subscribers. And they still think that if they put new games, that it's not going to bring more subscription, like to the more people to subscribe. They see the drop. They dropped another 2 million subscribers drop.
Wow.
If you have new games on there day and date, whether they're third party, indie, something like first party, you're going to make it enticing. You're going to make it appealing. That's why Netflix is as big as it is. That's why HBO Max did so well last year when they had all the movies. And then as soon as they said, we're not putting the new movies, they fucking lost a lot of subscribers.
Yep.
People want value for their buck.
Yep.
Okay? And no one's going to sit there and argue and say, yo, I'd rather pay $75 with the tax for a copy of Call of Duty when they can just get it on Game Pass and take that $75 and buy another game that they can't play because it's not on Game Pass. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people like that,
And
you tell them to their face, they're on their own.
Huh?
Yeah, I said people like that, you tell them, oh, you want to pay $70? Oh, okay, you're on your own. Enjoy yourself.
Oh, that's bullshit. You saw how many people bought it. It made $1 billion in a week.
Yeah.
That's how many people are dedicated to that stupid fucking game. And then, the fact that it's Modern Warfare, because let's be real, that, the other ones, Vanguard and Warzone, they didn't do as well because they weren't like, Modern Warfare is like the one that everybody loves. You know what I mean? The series.
Right.
So it was going to have a campaign from the Modern Warfare rebooted and kind of like a new one. So that's also a reason why it did so well. We got to take that into accountability. Imagine if those people that bought it be like, yo, you can get it on Game Pass next year for holiday. When a new one comes out, let's say, of course they're going to fucking get it on Game Pass because they can play it there right away. There's no strings attached. And then if they want to buy it later on sale, they'll do it and they'll buy it on sale.
Yep.
I mean, it's not rocket science. Which way? This way. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So that's the real reason Jim Ryan is shitting in his motherfucking pants. Look, didn't you say it? Didn't Unlimited say it? You and Unlimited said, oh, they're going to talk about God of War for 3 days. Well, you said a week. It literally took 3 days. And we went right back to Call of Duty.
Yep.
And then Microsoft makes them a 10-year deal. A 10-year. That is a generation and a half in a console business. Okay? And it's still, it's not good enough. No, go fuck yourself. They burnt their bridges and I'm loving it. Because now everybody else is going to see, these niggas is bugging. They want to fuck with our pockets. You really fucking think any one of you guys here, that you guys been around for so long and you know how business works, you really think that if fucking Microsoft can't do this deal and they fuck up $70 billion for Activision, they're going to fuck with Sony again? It's bugging. It's a wrap.
You went into right where I was getting ready to go. Thank you. You went right into it because everybody goes, oh, but business is business. They give out their money. They're gonna turn that down. Dude, listen to me. 70 plus fucking $1 billion plus golden parachutes for each one of them. One of them. You mean to tell me that you're gonna come back to my table with $250,000 for some damn maps?
Listen, boss. I love you. You're good people. But if you fuck my pockets up for $70 billion, we fighting. It's on site every time I see you.
I'm gonna tell you what them executives is going to do. This ain't, of course, we're talking fantasy land because this deal is going through.
Right. But we're just saying hypothetically if it doesn't. Right.
In bizarre world, if it didn't go through, those executives, Sony is scared because they're done either way. If the deal goes through, you done. If you fuck up the deal and it don't go through, you done. Because Activision now, what they can do is they can breach contract with Sony. They can say, well, you know what? How much will it pay us how much will it cost us to get out of these existing contracts with PlayStation? Well, it's going to cost y'all $700 million. Here, buy. Buy. Because you just fucked up $70 billion for us. Why would we deal with you any further?
Yeah.
You broke ass You broke ass peons. Why would we
Dude,
deal
They
with
would, they would only do exclusivities with Xbox from this point forward. I guarantee
Yep.
you. I
fellas,
guarantee you, just on principle.
fellas, everybody has no fucking clue how far-reaching the repercussions are if they
Oh, yeah.
screw the deal up for Activision.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about, dude. This is more than Call of Duty. We're talking about a lot of people losing their jobs because, dude, remember, Activision is still losing stock. Their stock is still turning the doo-doo. And on top of that, they still got pending lawsuits. They still got pending investigations. A lot of that, dude, that was 70. That 70 bill was their bailout. That was their get out.
All that stuff can only be handled with people with deep pockets, and Sony don't got the deep pockets that Microsoft got. That's the bottom line. They don't. They went to Sony. They went to other people, and they said no. Then they came back to Xbox because they first went to Xbox. They told them, no, go somewhere else because Microsoft knew they were going to get scrutinized. Go somewhere else and check. And what happened? They went to Activision. They went to Apple. They went to Apple. They went to Google. They went to Sony. Everybody turned them down because they wanted $120 billion. That's what they really were worth. Then when they went back to Microsoft, they said, okay, we'll give you $69 billion. You take it or leave it. All right, no problem. That's what they want. There's no way in hell. And people, you're 100% right, boss. Like you're talking about the deeper side of it, like the employers, people that are gonna lose their jobs, all those lawsuits. There's no way in hell that if this shit don't go through, it's gonna get fucking super disgusting for Sony. They're done. It's like Erock said.
That those executives are going to want revenge. Those executives, they were tickled pink. They called their wives. It was like, honey, yeah, you redoing the kitchen? Order the Egyptian tile. Fuck it. They were tickled pink.
Yeah, then we got the chief financial officer, I think she is, Chen, over at Activision, saying that we're ready to fight too.
Oh yeah.
To me, if I was Jim Ryan, that would have been my
right
death flag right there. Like
that's the sign right there. Like, nah, we ain't gonna win this fight. We're done.
I'll fight too. Like, yo, you about to blow us $70 billion, man? Y'all out of your mind.
But see, the thing is, I know why he's doing that. I know why. See, the thing is that for their investors that are that deeply invested in the company, not PlayStation, but just in Sony itself, and also and also for the Japanese investors who really are clueless about how the industry really works around the rest of the world. They're still stuck in the 90s and the early 2000s when PlayStation still reigned supreme. They're still stuck in that era. And so they're thinking that that's how it works. And it's like, that's not how it works, because people are already saying that by Sony doing what they're doing, they're overexposing the industry to these regulators.
You know what else they're doing, boss? You know what else they're doing? I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to add to what you're saying. You know what else they're doing? Sony's basically undermining all of their so-called great first-party developers, because they're giving more importance, more attention, and more of their time and efforts to a third-party developer for one game, yet shows no faith to their current and existing developers. All that shit talking they do, we got the greatest developers in the world, we got this, we got, God of War came out, sold $5.1 billion, right? Million copies, right? That's it. It did what it did. From this point forward, it'll probably sell a few more thousand. That's it. That's how all their games are. That's what Phil talked about long ago, that first-party exclusives don't have the legs they used to, especially in this day and era, because they cost way too much money to make than the era where we grew up in. When we grew up in the Nintendo and the Genesis and even the Saturn and PlayStation era, games weren't as expensive to make. So they would make up a lot of that revenue when they had sales. Yes, if a game sold 2 million copies, that was a fortune. But now when a game costs $100 million to make, right? There's no way in the world. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, man, these games is way too expensive now to make.
Hell yeah. Millions.
Billions and billions and billions.
150 million and
Yeah.
175 million. So I mean, you gotta recoup your losses some kind of way, and I Microsoft couldn't have been smarter by starting Game Pass. They started something where they have recurring revenue forever now, and they bought a bunch of intellectual properties like Minecraft. I don't play Minecraft, but millions of other people do. I don't play Overwatch, but millions of other people do.
It's still the biggest game.
It's still the biggest game. Absolutely. Yep.
They got recurring.
Hey real quick. Sega Forever had to bounce out real fast.
Yeah.
He had an emergency with his son.
Oh, okay. I hope everything's all right.
He said just hold the show up until he comes right back.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead, Iraq. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. It's just weird to see all of this happening, man, because it's been just a dichotomy of different business ideas and practices, and we saw that one company, who everybody used to laugh at, their way was right. The other company, who everybody thought was great, and the bee's knees, they were wrong, and now they're going around like Fireball said, like at the fucking select screen of Street Fighter, Japan, New England, Brazil.
Yeah.
USA.
Dude, this is one of the most bizarre things that we probably ever witnessed in gaming history.
Yes.
It's weird. It's like crazy. Like what? It is so bizarre. It's so bizarre. And I mean, we live in a bizarre world because look, now there's talks that I think what's his name from Disney's trying to make a proposition for Apple to buy Disney.
Wow.
Really?
Did you guys see that?
No,
I didn't.
What's his name? The guy that took back the mantle that he just got rehired.
Robert Iger. Bob Iger.
Iger. Yes, Iger made a proposition to Apple to see if they're interested in buying Disney. So
Disney,
imagine.
wow.
Is Disney in trouble? Because that was the
You're in
next subject,
trouble, man.
That was the next trouble.
E-Rock, it was all that fucking material shit they kept doing, trying to push that woke agenda. That's what happened. Trying to push that woke agenda, man. That shit fucked them up.
So Hebot, since Sega Forever is taking care of emergency, I'm sure he won't mind me taking over his next subject. His subject was going to be because he wants this podcast to cover all angles, entertainment, gaming.
Yeah.
He wanted to talk about this whole shit with Disney that came out of nowhere with the current CEO being forced to step down, Bob Iger coming back, Disney streaming service, who was just touting not even earlier this year that we got 250 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Netflix, which was a fucking flat out lie. They didn't surpass Netflix. But like it just they've made Star Wars in less than 5 years. They've made Star Wars one of the most powerful franchises ever irrelevant. The rumor mill has it that they fucking ruined Indiana Jones. The rumors are true. This is fucking happening. This is fucking happening. This shit you've heard, all these rumors you heard, is going down.
One of the other rumors is that Kathleen Kennedy's out.
Wow, this is getting heavy.
I mean, it's long overdue because she was started with George Lucas, but then she forgot where she came from, acting all kinds of crazy, saying that Star Wars is about female and not male. I'm like, oh my fucking God, Star Wars has always been about the lore of fantasy and sci-fi. It's not a specific thing.
Well, the reason why Kathleen Kennedy has gotten so powerful because even when all of us here was kids, Fireball, Sega Man, Hebot, myself, Kathleen Kennedy was always there.
She was there, but she started as like, the coffee girl, like, you know what I mean?
She was Steven Spielberg's assistant on Raiders of the Lost Ark, and she climbed up. And when Disney bought Lucasfilm for $4 billion, which seems like chump change now, she was put in charge of Lucasfilm. But all across the board, Disney has just made baffling decisions, oversaturating Star Wars to the point where nobody cares about it. The
animation studios with Pixar, they fucked that shit up as well.
Oh my God!
How could you do that when that was the biggest thing you've ever seen in animation? It's just crazy.
Too much. And now with the MCU Phase 4, like
MCU.
does anybody care anymore? So to see the former CEO leave and Bob Iger come back, and now if you're saying this Apple deal is true, that's unheard of to me because Disney, I've never seen Disney fucking panicking, not since the 80s.
Oh yeah,
but
it must be worse than what we know, because if he's trying to sell it or made a proposition, that means they're hurting bad, like really bad, like number-wise, stock-wise, investment-wise. With their investor, it's bad. Supposedly it's bad. And again, who would have ever thought Disney would ever fall? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're never too big to fall. But I've been watching. Like, I've never been a huge fan of Disney's. I'm a fan of their classic stuff. From 1930 up until like say 1970. I'm a fan of that old classic Disney magic. But the last 12 years, they've been kind of full of themselves. And their MO has just been get it out there. Nobody asked for a Mary Poppins sequel. It was unnecessary. Nobody asked for The Little Mermaid. That was unnecessary. Nobody asked for a fucking Pinocchio. That was unnecessary. They just keep putting all of these movies out there. And Sega Man and Fireboss, you can only burn through so much money and take an L before sooner or later somebody's like, yo, what the fuck is going on over there?
Yeah, and burn their bridges. But you also got to remember too, E-Rock, you got to remember that they also keep doing things just for the sake of doing it, like gender swapping for not really the right reasons. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's different if they're trying to do it they're virtue signaling is what I'm saying. Like they're trying to act like they care about, let's say, the black community, right?
And diversity.
But they don't really care because they didn't do that until this whole bullshit started with everybody should be treated equal. This should be this, this should be that. But at the same time, a lot of black folks don't want to be treated like they're petty or like they're a second stepchild or something. You can make and create stuff that is natural, new, or fresh with black characters and make it their own. You don't have to give them something that existed always as a white man thing. You know what I mean? For example,
I'm serious. Mary Jane ain't got to be black. What's going on with that?
Cassian Andor features a Latino lead, and nobody's watching it.
But the show is bad, E-Rock. I'm watching it. The show is bad.
But it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
No, it's not his fault. No, it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Ebot is too fucking much Star Wars.
Yeah. But it's too much Star Wars that don't fit in the Star Wars. That's basically ignoring the lore, right? That's the biggest problem. It's ignoring the lore, or it doesn't have enough continuity. Remember when we talked about that with the J.J. Abrams movie with the Force Awakens? It's just they've gone too much on the wayside without continuity, without respecting the original stuff and source material, and kind of acting like, you remember Kathleen Kennedy at one point said, all those novels that were created that were actual canon and stories, that don't exist no more. Remember? She said that people got mad at that too. Like, what do you mean it don't exist? The author, the publisher's like, what are you talking about? Like, you crazy? So even George Lucas, they said that she's fucking pissed with her. Like, he's mad at what she's done, but because he sold it, he can't do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got his hands tied. So, it's been a lot of burned bridges that they've been keep burning, and every time they do something, they burn it again. Look, the creative director of fucking She-Hulk is a Japanese director later, right? Or Chinese, right? One of those. She came out flat out and said, we purposely did the show. I purposely did the show to make fun of the fans because we want to make fun of them because we don't care what they have to say. And I told Kevin Feige, I don't care what you say. If you got a problem with me, so what? And she made a joke at one of the episodes where the robot's supposed to be Kevin Feige, and she's basically making fun of him and not listening to what he told her to do.
Wow.
In the show. in She-Hulk. You think that type of attitude with people working there, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to be enough? Of course they're going to say enough. The fans are the ones that make anything. Any company is made by the fans, by the customers, right? You go back when you used to buy an Apple product, you go back because you trust their product. It's the fans who buy it. When you bought a Sony product, it's because you trusted their name brand. That it was a brand recognition of quality. You trusted them and you bought it because it was quality, and that diminished and people stopped buying it. Once you don't take care of the people and the fan base and your consumers and what makes you your money and it made you big to begin with, you're going on a downhill spiral. It's just a matter of time. It doesn't matter. Even Microsoft. If Microsoft started doing fucked up shit and saying we don't give a fuck with the fans, we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want. Who cares? We're gonna charge you $300,000 for this, but we're gonna take away this, bro. It's over for them. Go ahead.
They already experienced that. He-Bot, remember? Last gen.
Well, yeah. But the thing was that last gen, it was taken out of context in a lot of ways. They weren't trying to do something for to try to be not care about the fan base. They were trying to try something different. But what happened was the media took it out of context and made it way worse.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say that. Yeah, I agree with you. It's just that, to me, everything that Mattrick was trying to do, it's like we're already doing, and I get it, but at the same time, it's like there's power. There's power in words not spoken, and his best bet. See, it's just like the situation how they burned the bridge with Japan, with the Japanese developers, when they used to have so many Japanese studios that want to develop for the Xbox platform, and then all of a sudden, after Mattrick had that little interview where he said that, oh, those don't make no money anyway. I remember. And to me, it's like, where the fuck is your PR guy? Where was your PR guy when you did this interview? Anybody big like that always have a PR guy who's over off screen, off the camera, who's like waving at you as to what you can and can't say, and telling that media outlet.
Yeah, sometimes it's how you say things. You gotta be careful. You gotta be like really not careful, like not having any, let's say not having any like not having a spine or not having like courage, but speaking, remembering that you just don't talk to one set side of an audience, right? The audience like us, that we were accepting, the evolution of what Connect was going to do, what their vision was to do with the TV shows, connecting with the games, things like that. All that stuff, yes, there was an audience there. But at the same time, you had to remember there's a lot of casuals that were very apprehensive and get scared because they're not really enfolded in this hobby the way that we are, right? So they were like, whoa, what you trying to say, that we can't own our shit? What you trying to say, that fuck us? You know what I'm trying to say? And that messaging is where you have to be careful. It's how you said it. You have to say it in a way where you make sure that you make everybody feel safe. Don't worry, we know it looks this way, but trust us that we're going to make sure that we make everything the right way and comfortable for everybody. You just got to give us some time and you'll see what we're going to do. And that was where the messaging should have got kind of, it was too abrupt. Like, no, we got this, that's it. And the people took it as, oh, they're just basically giving us a middle finger. You get what I'm trying to say? And that's why, when you said, like you said, when a person in power, like Mattrick, he was running it at the time, and don't get me wrong, Mattrick was making the money. He was the reason why we had all those launch games for the Xbox One, and Phil was the scouter, remember, at the time. And it worked, and it was a beautiful thing that people didn't appreciate, but because he said what he said, and then Jeff Keighley made it worse, that shit fucked everything up. Because that's what hurt him perception-wise, not really money-wise. Because money-wise, they won the generation, hands down. But perception-wise, it fucked it all up because everybody's like, Microsoft don't give a fuck. Microsoft just care about money. Microsoft just don't want to give us exclusive. Microsoft don't care about exclusive. Microsoft just want to put everything on PlayStation and Nintendo. Well, they had to stop that shit real quick too. And Aaron Greenberg came out and said, "Oh, no more exclusives going to anywhere, not Nintendo, not PlayStation." After the whole Ori and fucking Cuphead debacle shit, because they fucking backstab them. Huh?
Yeah, we was talking about that earlier before you came in. He bought
yeah.
that after that mess, it's like because dude, all throughout 2021, dude, almost every interview that Phil was in, is it coming to PlayStation? Must be coming to PlayStation. Is it coming to Switch? And you could see in his face that he's like, God damn it, just he regrets that one Kumbaya. He regrets now.
Yeah. And remember, boss, all you guys remember Sega Man, E-Rock. You remember when Cuphead was announced, it was a lifetime exclusive.
Yep.
That's how it was announced.
Yep.
Ashen, it was announced as a lifetime exclusive.
PlayStation.
Ori, it was announced as a lifetime exclusive. But the error that they did was they didn't buy the IP. They just funded it and let the company, which is the developer, like Moon Studios, Studio MDHR, they let them keep the license and property of the IP. Once they did that, and then people on Twitter were like, but you should bring Ori to Switch. That's a game that would be perfect on the Switch. It would sell like bundles and like hotcakes. And then they're like, oh, well, they started getting that itch because they saw that the Switch was selling a lot. They saw that the PlayStation was still the leading platform as far as sales. Wait, Phil, because he said it.
To be fair, to them, he bought real quick as developers. To be fair, where it's like, dude, I still get the ire. I'm with you, but to be fair, because they were still solo, they were still independent.
Yeah,
and they had to make money. Because remember, we all said it. Game development, dude, just running the studio, just the overhead alone.
But you remember, Ori and Cuphead did well because it sold over 1 million copies on Xbox. It sold over 1 million copies on PC.
Yeah,
on PC. And then they did the deal with Netflix for the fucking animation. They were making money. You know what I mean? It's just that they wanted more, and I get it. I get it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to keep money coming in because just as money coming in, money's got to go out. Checks got to be signed. Dental plans got to be paid. That stuff starts accumulating. That's seriously. I'm not trying to make excuses for them. I swear to God.
No, I get exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
He by fire. We got unlimited production here and Sega Forever's back. But I just want to answer the chat real quick. Somebody in the chat was like, the Mandalorian was good getting back on Disney. Yeah, the Mandalorian was good, but even though there were some parts of Obi-Wan Kenobi that were awesome, did you need Obi-Wan Kenobi? Did you need Cassian Andor? Whether it's good
right. Like Mandalorian is good because the Mandalorian was really good because Mandalorian was basically an extension of what already existed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was doing it in the time zone in between certain movies, right? That's how they introduced Grogu. Then you saw the past, like when they did Boba Fett, there's the book of Boba Fett. I thought it was, okay, good idea, but why the fuck the whole episode is he has no mask on. He has his mask off. We didn't need to see West Study's face, or not West Study, the other guy, the entire time. We didn't see that.
It's called exercising as a company restraint. It's called exercise. Say whatever you want about Warner Brothers. I didn't agree with it, but they exercised enough strength to fucking cancel or completely get rid of Batgirl. You have to sometimes exercise restraint like Xbox does. We can bring back Blinks to Time Sweeper. We can bring back whoever the hell else. But should we? Disney should have asked themselves. Disney should have asked themselves, did we need Ant-Man Quantumania? Did we need Ant-Man and Wasp? Did we need Doctor Strange? Did we need Disney needed to ask themselves?
Thor: Love and Thunder, right?
My thing is, if you're going to bring in a heavy hitter villain, what's the name? Kang the Conqueror. Yeah, Ant-Man was not it.
Right.
Well, Kang the Conqueror is on Doom.
Hey, Unlimited, how are you,
level. He's on Dr. Doom level, and you going to bring him in on Ant-Man?
And if you're going to bring in Namor, at least do Namor right.
Yes.
Listen. Disney has, and I'm gonna plant my flag. Disney has no restraint.
No.
Wakanda Forever just came out, right? And already they've released this movie called Strange World. You're cannibalizing off the money that Wakanda Forever could have made. So y'all had no faith that this shit was ever going to get to $1 billion. So right away you released Strange World.
Yeah, too many things at once. Yeah, yeah.
If Hebot is right, this is probably why Bob Iger was brought back, and this is why they're seeking to sell to Apple. Disney has done this to themselves. Just because you bought Indiana Jones, did you have to bring them back? And if I tell you guys the plot of Indiana Jones 5, you're not going to fucking believe it. But
Disney, it's crazy.
Disney has shown no restraint, and this is why they're in the situation that they're in. A successful company that has made billions of dollars upon billions of dollars that the executives now have no confidence in. And it's crazy to see, but all we could do is say, how do you destroy Pixar?
Exactly.
Can anybody in this room even name Pixar's last 5 films? Because I can't.
Yeah, they all flopped. They all flopped.
I haven't seen any of them. I watched.
Most of the 3D work was done by Disney's own animation studio, rather than Pixar.
Yeah, but Pixar, went out and branched off like a separate entity.
They were a separate entity, but what happened was they were going to be a separate entity, but Robert Lasseter was asked to fucking come back. They offered Pixar money to stay in Disney. He took it, and once he came back, they got rid of his ass on some bullshit, woke Me Too shit. Yeah. Robert Lasseter, the guy that fucking started Pixar, is no longer.
Started it, yeah.
How can anybody trust this company? But Sega Forever, are you back?
No, he said he's back, but he's not back. So I think he's just monitoring the situation.
Unlimited. We were just talking about a great many things. We were talking about the futility of people still trying to stop this Activision deal, but we were also talking about some very crazy rumors that we heard from Hebot. Some factual stuff. Disney got rid of one executive and brought back Bob Iger. And Disney, Hebot. What did they just do? They went to who?
That Bob Iger is offering a deal to Apple to see if they'll purchase Disney.
Unfucking heard of.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
That sounds to me like a company that's either in turmoil or maybe they spent too much damn money too fast on too many properties, and they're not seeing no returns on this shit.
Yeah, I just got one question. Are Warner Brothers fans going to tweet the president to stop that deal if it turns out to be true? Are we DC fans going to start harassing?
Yeah, I know, for real. We need to go do that. If not, we riot.
Yeah, is that the next step in all this? Because
nah, we smarter than that.
Is Sega Man going to call Elizabeth Warren like tomorrow and be like, "Yo, you got to stop this shit."
You're gonna do a poll on Twitter. Don't worry, he got it. Listen, to kind of add to what you were saying, E-Rock, about should you do something? You're absolutely right. You know what would have made a perfect sense to make into a movie or a show if they would have done something like Shadows of the Empire.
Yes,
because it was a fantastic game, fantastic story that would have been translated incredibly well on screen or in a TV format, and people would have wanted it because it's never been shown, it's never been done.
Yeah, that actually originated from a line of novels. It
ties the whole story of how Han Solo, got the whole Millennium Falcon, his friend Dash Rendar, how Dash Rendar's friend's ship was actually faster than the Millennium Falcon. It's a bunch of stuff in there that connects to the Star Wars world, but not directly. But something like that is what people would have, they would have gathered to, like they would have embraced it. Just like they did Mandalorian, because it was doing something Star Wars, respecting it, but not going too far off the cuff. You get what I'm saying? And that's the problem.
Yeah, go ahead. It's crazy because that Star Wars deal joining Disney was just 7 years ago. So it didn't even take Disney a decade to ruin all that shit. That's what's wild to me. And then to add to that, man, look, I told E-Rock this a couple of times, but we're in a rare time with entertainment where the people in charge of these entertainment companies, they hate us. You know,
Oh, yeah.
so the Star Wars fans hate the fact that Hebot was watching Star Wars in like 1980, whenever the movies came out, right?
Yeah,
They-
you're absolutely right.
They hate Hebot, they hate E-Rock, they hate them fans. They see them as these nerds and all this other shit, and they want to bring in their people. Their people.
Yeah, they
And
actually
the
act like
problem
it
is-
didn't belong to us first before it did to them.
Yo, and for entertainment,
It's crazy.
and let me say this: when it comes to entertainment, I don't necessarily believe in term "belong to us" because the comic fans do that a lot, and I kind of push back on that. And to me, it's like let people enjoy what they want. The problem is here's the problem, Hebot. The people they want to be their fans will never, ever, ever like Disney. No matter who you make gay, no matter who
The
you
way
make
that
black.
we did, right?
Yeah,
right.
Listen, there's nothing you can do to get a Star Wars fan interested. Just like
You know
me and
why
Marvel.
though, right? Unlimited. You know why though, right? Because when we became fans, we became fans by natural progression, right?
Yeah.
With the lore, with the source material, with the companies. That's how we became fans. We were there from the very beginning, and we nurtured it together as a fan base, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing.
What's happening now is, oh no, you gotta like it because this is the way life is now. This is what society has to be. And if you don't like it, fuck you. You're racist. You're homophobic. You're transphobic. You're all that other stupid shit. Right, right. Go ahead.
And all that stuff is just lazy accusations. Because this was going to happen next year with The Little Mermaid. It's going to be a terrible, lifeless movie, a soulless corporate movie pushed out to the masses, going to get poorly reviewed. And all Disney's going to do is sit behind the shield of racism because they hired a black woman to play Ariel. Now, I'm pretty sure the woman who's playing Ariel is a good actress.
It's going to do a good job, right?
But the problem is, you could just tell by the trailer it's going to be some boring bullshit. Just like how, I remember when E-Rock said that there's a Pinocchio remake. I'm like, there's a Pinocchio remake? That's where we are with this shit, right? Where shit is just gonna die. It's just gonna come out, make money one week, die the next, and go back to losing money for Disney or whatever the hell's going on. Because first of all, Disney has the same problem video games is having, where they think that we want to see the same shit over and over. And I loved The Little Mermaid when I was fucking 5, but I'm 32 now. I don't give a fuck to see that shit. And you're not, and spare me with this modern audience, new audience shit, because little kids are onto something else. All right, the shit that little kids like now, when they pander to them in 20, 30 years, and that shit flops in theaters, it's gonna be the same shit. It's gonna be the same shit for them. Because
kids will swamp to Disney if Disney made a Minecraft animation.
Yeah, exactly.
You see? If Disney did a Fortnite animation, an Apex animation, then you see the younger kids flock to it. A Roblox animation, because that's what they're into. The people that were into the stuff that they have, whether it's especially the old stuff, right, the legacy stuff, it's not their audience. That audience now, you're not going to intrigue them because most of them think that stuff is corny or it was dated or cheesy.
Look, man, kids do not give a fuck about Luke, about Darth Vader fighting that dude who had his own show earlier this year, Obi-Wan Kenobi. They don't give a shit about that. That's not for them. And for some reason, Disney and a lot of these other media outlets, they seem to keep thinking that they're, first of all, they're making this mistake. Hebot and E-Rock and Sega Man and the rest of y'all, they keep thinking that they're better than the source material.
Yep.
And then when their vision flops, they get mad at everybody but themselves. And what kills me is that Hollywood's so stuck up their own ass, they still give them those failures another job instead of letting them just go into somewhere else in their life. Because you can sometimes you watch this stuff and you could just tell the level of disdain they have for the audience.
Well, let me let you guys in on a little fun fact. I don't know, maybe E-Rock knows about it. You know why there was that little saying? That was a poke at Captain Kennedy. She didn't even know it. But in Mandalorian, you know how he says this is the way? But that's why he was saying that. They put it in there to kind of poke at her, like saying this is what fans of Star Wars want.
Right.
This type of material, like this. And that's why he says this is the way. And they'd use that as the term that the Mandalorians hold. You understand?
Yeah.
It's just a lot of. It's just I've never seen such craziness. Disney, I knew they were going to, and everybody called me a moron years ago. I knew Disney was going to implode sooner or later because they were just pushing out too many Marvel movies that made no fucking sense. And somebody in the comment section had said, "These companies hate the fans." What do you mean? Well, I'll give you a quick example and let somebody else speak. Over at Paramount, there's something very sinister happening with one of my favorite franchises of all time, Star Trek. Something very sinister is happening over there. What they've done is it didn't get taken over. At least with The Mandalorian, it got taken over by Jon Favreau, who's a fan.
Yes,
it got taken over by a guy named David Filoni, who's a fan. Star Trek, sadly, got taken over by this guy named Alex Kurtzman, who had at one time J.J. Abrams reining him in, but J.J. Abrams ain't involved in Star Trek no more. So Alex Kurtzman fucking hates Star Trek. He hates me. He hates the fuck out of me. He hates everybody. They hear me out. They fucking hate Star Trek the original series. Yeah. Because Star Trek the original series, before all of this woke shit started, Star Trek the original series showed a black, a Russian, a Chinese, an Irishman, and an alien being led by a strong, brave, fearless white man who got pussy. They hate that shit. They fucking hate. And not only that, but Star Trek the original series won a ton of awards and was written by some of the greatest writers ever, like Harlan Ellison. They fucking hate Star Trek. So what they're doing is now they're trying to erase Captain Kirk by rewriting history. It's called revisionist history. So now they brought Captain Kirk in on this new show, and now unbeknownst to us, Captain Kirk will probably be bi or bi-curious. We can't have him we can't have him making love to green bitches no more. We can't.
No. He can't make love to alien bitches no more either.
So now, if you look at Star Trek now, you'll see Star Trek make an announcement that instead of having this great new plot, we've got a transgender couple, or we've got the first non-binary. What the fuck does any of that have to do with Star Trek? They fucking they hate Star Trek. They hate me. They hate the fact that these kids who they think they're making it for, like Unlimited Production just said, they hate the fact that these kids are next week going to discover a movie called Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan or Star Trek First Contact and be like, whoa, this shit is way better than this crap you're doing now.
And it's happening.
And so instead of them saying, okay, yeah, we fucked up with Star Trek, or we fucked up putting out too much Star Wars, or we fucked up turning Prince Namor from Atlantis into fucking Ramon from fucking Mexico. Instead of them just saying we fucked up, they're going to double down and say, Iraq, you know what? You're a misogynist pig because you want to see Captain Kirk strutting around being a man and doing man shit. No, he has to be gay or non-binary or transgender, or you got to use pronouns like they or them. And why do you have a problem with Ramon name being changed to Ramon? Because that's not the fucking character. I understand why Marvel wanted to stay as far away from Atlantis as possible, because thank God DC came out first and did it better than them. So what they did was they went in the opposite direction, and I guess it's kind of cool. They changed Namor into like this fucking Mesoamerican prince, but that's not who the fucking character is. Yeah. And when the fans push back against this shit, Unlimited Production, you're racist. There's something wrong with you. Why don't you want to see non-binaries and transgenders on TV? Why can't Captain Kirk?
Look how they executed it in Aquaman, E-Rock. In Aquaman, they executed. Aquaman is supposed to be this nice-looking white guy, right? They changed him into a Hawaiian, right, or Samoan, right? But the actual lore of Aquaman is still the same. You understand? He's played by an actor that's Samoan, but the actual lore is the same. They didn't change the lore like they did with Namor, and they did something completely off cuff and different. They still stayed true to the source material, even though it's being played by a Samoan. You understand? Or Hawaiian. You know what I mean? Like, That's the difference, and that's why it worked. That's when people don't take offense. But when you change not only the race of the character, but then you want to change the whole lore, talking about, oh, this is not important, like they're doing with Captain Kirk, like you said, that they're trying to make him now like even maybe be non-binary or some shit like that, when that's never been the characters. The whole, intrigueness, right, of Captain Kirk was that he was so suave. He could run. He always kept his composure. He was intelligent. He was quiet. He always used and showed his confidence on his whole crew. Whoever it was, like Scotty, he was he was the best at whatever he did. Spock, he was the best at what he did. The girl, the black girl. Oh my God, what's her name?
Uhura.
Aurora, she was good at what she did at communications, and he showed their trust. He showed the trust and power in his crew. They were all one, even though he was the leader. But he treated his crew as one. The Enterprise was the entire fucking crew, full of diversity. You had a Chinese guy, a Russian dude, a Scottish dude. It wasn't about white man control. No. It was about a whole full room of diverse characters working as a family in a ship to fight for the good of the better future of tomorrow for human race and for any other race out there, right?
And here's the kicker, Hebot. If they want a different kind of Star Trek leader, they got one. His name is Captain Sisko from Deep Space Nine. But since these people don't know anything about Star Trek, I bet they never once hit that dude up, and he's a great actor too.
And he was great. He was a fantastic captain. Absolutely.
I bet not a single one of them dudes at Paramount ever said, "Hey, what is Captain Sisko up to?"
They hate him. They hate him too because he was a strong black man and a strong black father figure. So we can't have him.
Oh yeah. And even Picard, because remember, Patrick Stewart's character is older. He's an older.
He bought. There's a show called Star Trek Picard. They already fucked him up. We can
move on. I heard.
We can move on from that. I'm not touching that
shit. Unlimited. They fucked up the whole universe.
Yeah, the whole universe. That's what they said. Yep.
Yeah, man.
I remember when people complained about J.J. Abrams' Star Trek, and those movies I thought were phenomenal.
They were phenomenal because
I thought they were fantastic.
They fucking adhered to Star Trek. They said, we're in an alternate universe, but the prime universe still exists. In fact, here's your fucking spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was a great.
That's right, because Spock, the older Spock, was there. That's right. Yeah, you're right. And I just bought all the first 3 movies in 4K on Black Friday sale.
And then the second one was a soft remake, if you will, of Wrath of Khan. And the third one was actually my favorite because that one was Star Trek to me. Because what I liked about the third one, all the team members, it was really cool how they split up each team member.
Everybody was doing something. Yeah, everybody had to do something important. Yeah,
and so that's why that was my dope.
It was dope.
That's why that was my favorite of the 3 because
it was dope. It was definitely dope. Yeah.
That one, every cast member has something to do, and ensemble movies are rarely do that very well. I think only Justice League off the top, like the Zack Snyder Justice League is the only one I could think of off the top of my head.
That every character played a pivotal point. Yeah,
because even in Avengers, there's so many.
They do it together. I know exactly what you're saying. They do it together. They're not really off doing it separately, except the scene with Loki and Captain America, where he has the Tesseract, and then the other one when they went to the other planet with the Guardians of the Galaxy characters. That was the only scene. But I know exactly what you mean. They kind of did it more together and not really different.
Not only that, every member was useful, and that's rare.
Yes,
because even with Avengers, there's always some jokes about what is Black Widow doing here? How can the Arrow Hawkeye, how can he compete with somebody like Hulk and shit? And Hulk is useless in those movies anyway. So,
But they made Hulk so bad.
They I don't again hate your audience. Hey, listen, Hulk. People not realize in the comics Hulk once punched a hole in the universe. What are we doing here, making him this pussy dude who's afraid of his own shadow and can't even stand up to his own?
When he saw Thanos, In Endgame, he was acting like he was petrified. I'm like, oh nah, come on.
Dude got punched for like 3 seconds and then did refuse to come back.
Crazy as hell. The real Hulk would have been great.
This shit
Crazy.
was, the liberties they take is just always so stupid in those movies.
Yeah. What's the whole universe? You're right about that.
You know what's a liberty taken that I like? Man of Steel, and people hate Man of Steel.
Oh,
I
hell yeah.
will always defend him killing Zod because they made it obviously clear from the moment Zod said, "I'm not going to rest until I kill everybody on your home planet."
On your fucking planet. That's right.
And so I'm like, so every time somebody say, "Why did he kill Zod?"
To save the universe and the planet.
Yeah, you want to throw Zod in jail? What prison's going to hold Zod? Come on, tell me, what prison is going to hold Zod? You want Superman to be guard duty 24/7?
Just like they had a problem with the whole scene when they changed the scene with the father instead of dying of a heart attack, his dad. They made his dad die a hero, and he couldn't save him because he was protecting his son. He loved him that much that he would rather die and not let him get fucking tagged by the fucking military and the government. It was so powerful.
And his
I
dad
was like, oh shit, this shit is amazing.
And his dad was proven right because as soon as they found out
absolutely
Superman
right.
exists, they were ready to turn on his ass. They were ready to assume he was with
Immediately.
Zod and everything.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Sorry, guys. Hey, what's up? I'm back. Sorry.
Hey, what's up, Sega Forever?
What's up,
Hey,
man?
Hey, listen, what kind of host are you leaving us? What the hell's wrong with you? No, I'm just kidding.
Man, you left E-Rock in charge, man. What's wrong with you, dude? This ship is going down.
Hey, I know you guys can roll. I know you guys can roll. I was
We're gonna make a hard right.
I was listening off live. I'll come in here, man. It's like, well, dude.
You go from soft-spoken Hawaiian, right?
No,
With his methodical ways to the downtown Philly assassin and Don King attitude. You know what I mean? Like that's a rough left right.
we had to address Disney because I know that was the elephant in the room you wanted to talk about. But I didn't know He-Bot was going to drop a bomb on us that Disney's
I
trying
thought
to
you
sell
knew,
to Apple.
E-Rock. Yeah, I thought you knew. Yeah, man, I saw that shit yesterday. Like, what the fuck?
That was when he came back, and then that was the rumblings behind the scenes, right? That they're gonna sell to Apple.
Crazy.
So you know where my mind went when he said that? I was like, oh, so because already Sony was there's talks about Sony being bought by Apple.
All right, both of them happening.
Because you guys remember what Phil Spencer said. Phil Spencer is like, this is not our competition. Our competition is Google and Apple. Well,
Yep.
Google's
Yes.
Yep.
Many times you've said it.
Yep.
So that's where my mind went to. I know I'm a huge Disney, but you guys was right. I was just joking. Disney.
Well, Unlimited brought it up. Hey, listen, where's the petitions to the president to stop this deal? God damn it, he brought it up.
Hey,
man. I'm waiting to see the
fella.
Paramount fans. I'm waiting to see, if you found like the MonsterVerse.
Hell yeah, the DC
all that
fan, Warner
shit.
Brothers. Let's all make a petition. God damn it, fuck that.
Yep.
This just cannot happen.
Yeah, Monopoly. Apparently, Monopoly. I guess Monopoly's only applied to one company.
Yeah, Microsoft. That's it.
So
That's
sorry,
all they
Alphonse,
keep-
were you
that's all
saying,
they keep-
Carbo?
Oh no, I was just gonna add real quick. Yeah, that's for some odd reason they refuse. It's like an old dog on an old stew bone. They refuse to let go of how Bill and Ballmer ran the company. Over 2 decades ago. They're fixated on that. Oh, if they did it before, Saudi is going to do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, but here's the kick.
I was like, come on now. But no, I was just trying to say to y'all that I have to go out because I remember. Remember Sega Forever? I was saying that I'm probably gonna have to head out. Yeah, and it's coming. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go out, do this grocery run. But
that sucks.
yeah, it has to be done, man. I mean, like I said, we still got leftovers, but we don't have a fucking thing to drink. And you know how it is in the black house.
I know. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Completely
Like,
understand, brother. Yes, sir.
Where's all the fucking great Kool-Aid? What the hell?
You brung it though, Fireboss. You brung it, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't here for the beginning of it, man. But it's always nice hanging out with Fireboss, man.
Like, yeah, dude. So likewise, right back at you. So, anyways, man, dude, thanks for having me. It's great, hanging out with you guys again. Just just send the flare up. If I'm free, I'll jump in the next time.
Yeah,
Hey,
just
all right,
remember,
brother.
it'll be like every
All right,
2
brother.
weeks, bro.
All right,
All
now-
right, boss. Good luck with. Don't buy too much drinks. Oh no, buy a lot, buy enough, so that way they can't bother you.
It'll be like
That's what I do to
it'll
my
be
wife.
like,
Buy a whole bunch, goddammit.
it'll be like military pay, bro. Every 2 weeks. That's what we. That's how this podcast is.
Listen, you talking about brother that's
All
in
right,
his car waiting for an hour already for his daughters in the mall. So you tell me.
Oh, they
snap,
shopping?
dude. Friday.
Black Friday, man.
Yeah.
They gotta be in this fucking car. Like, yo, listen, don't make it too long. They're being in an hour already.
You're done. Man.
Hey,
You're done.
hey, but I love you, man. But your family be dogging you out, man. You gotta talk to them, man. They be dogging my man out. Like,
Who
yo,
you
man,
telling? I
pick
need
me
to
up from-
divorce my family. Is what I need to do.
pick me up from my job in Detroit, and then wait for me outside the mall.
Hey, Sega man.
What's up, man?
Sega, yeah. So we was joking a little bit. I didn't laugh really hard, but I did giggle about last podcast we did when you fell asleep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So this is what I get, man. I disappeared off my own podcast.
oh, you see?
Laughing, man.
Now you can't talk.
Dipped out. Hey, but Sega Forever, man. I would love to hear your take on Disney, man. You said
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, listen. I need to be clear again before you go in.
Yeah.
I own a lot of Disney movies. I used to love Disney. I own
Oh,
Mary
yeah.
Poppins, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, Peter Pan. You know, the classic, the legendary Disney stuff, man. Ichabod and Mr. Toad. You know, all of like. There will only ever be one Peter Pan, and that's that 1954 Peter Pan animated movie. I'm one of the few guys that have always said that an animated movie can sometimes be far superior than a live action movie. And Peter
Yeah,
Pan is
that's
proof
the
of
truth.
this. Transformers the movie is proof of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Sega man, I'm sure you've seen what's been going on over in Disney. My thing with them is, and Hebot and Unlimited Production, we think they've oversaturated the market with too much shit.
Yeah.
And that's why they're suffering right now. Like, what are your thoughts, man? Is it just because you owned the MCU did you need to make fucking Ant-Man versus Wasp? Did you need to make fucking Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? Just because did you need to make this horrendous Indiana Jones film that's coming out? And the rumors about that is just too wild to be believed. Did you need to make 1,000 Star Wars series? Like, it's okay to show some goddamn restraint. Like, me and Hebot, we didn't argue, but I was totally against this new guy coming into Warner Brothers called David Zaslav.
Mhm.
But maybe this motherfucker knew something I didn't know. When he said, listen, we're not putting this Batgirl out there, but we will put out Black Adam. Maybe he knows something I don't know.
Dude, I'll tell you this about David Zaslav, why I loved him. Right, I wish he was at Disney because he'd be cleaning house. Because they need. Look, dude, I was the biggest Kevin Feige fanboy. That dude needs to go.
Wow.
But with David Zaslav, man, David Zaslav. The thing that got me, the thing that he said, that's like, where's our Trinity?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's right.
Where's our Trinity?
Another thing. Sorry to cut you off,
No, go ahead.
but he also showed backlash towards blindly supporting, like people y'all call it the woke agenda and stuff.
Mhm.
He's against blindly supporting that stuff too.
Oh hell yeah, he's not having that. He said none of
Yeah.
that bullshit over here.
Yeah. So
He said we're about the fans.
yeah. So hopefully his words ring true. See, for me with him, I'm in the wait and see period. So I just want to do your thing.
Just to verify.
Yeah, hey man, I have to, man. The way the state of things are, people say one thing and do the other. Unless you're Phil Spencer, then you just get accused of it, even though you don't. But
Right.
yeah, so I'm wait and see. But I'm hoping for the positives.
Did you see what Cavill said? He was
No.
interviewed. So the whole thing with The Witcher kind of blew over, was
Mhm.
blowing over, and then
Oh.
he got Superman, and then they asked him what did he want to see, and he said hope. Like he said like 3 words that was like classic. Like you could tell he wants to return to like the
Yeah.
classic Superman.
Oh
So-
yeah. Look, I have all the faith in the world on what they're gonna do with Henry. And speaking of Henry Cavill, he left The Witcher because of what we were discussing earlier. E-Rock.
Yes.
The people of The Witcher hate the audience, hate the books, hate the games, and that was his one request to be on the show. His one request when he joined the show was like, "Hey guys, show respect to the games and the books, and I'm here forever." Right? They did the opposite, and he's like, "Screw this, I'm out."
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
Erock, to answer your question though, kids are wonderful, right? I got my 2 kids, so here I'm just because I can't talk to you guys all the time, right? So unfortunately, I take out all my frustration on my kids. So I'm here talking to them about all this kind of stuff, and then it dawned on me. I was sitting there talking to my daughter. So my daughter does art, and she likes to do stories. She's with all her little crew of nerds, right? They do their own stories, and they make all this kind of stuff. And so then I was sitting there one day, and it dawned on me. I looked at my daughter. I was like, you know what? I don't think these people read books. You know, the people that are writing all this stuff that are working.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think these guys like. And I'm not just talking about comic books. I already knew that. Like they don't know anything about comic books, right? About the history of the lore and stuff like that. Whatever they Google, which is I'd even take that if it was good. But it dawned on me. I'm like, I don't think these guys ever read like a classic book where there were defined roles within the book. And I'm not saying that you can't change things, right? And then my daughter had this look at me, kind of like, "Oh, you finally getting it, old man?" Like she kind of like that, and I was like, it broke my heart. But I think that's the main thing the problem I have with Disney right now. It's just because they have people working there, just like you said, Unlimited. Like same thing with The Witcher, right? That these people don't like the comic book versions of these characters, right? And so for me personally, I'm able to I know. Look, I think what is his name, Poe. Paul put about hitting the fans. Sorry, Paul, man. I was late. I wish I would have caught this earlier because I was going to comment on it. For somebody like me at my age, I know this for a fact, dude, that they're not making this stuff for me, right? They're targeting another demographic. It's not made for me. It's not made for City Forever, right? This is not the content they want to make. Unfortunately for them, the target audience that they're looking at don't like this stuff either. And even what's worse for them is the target audience they're going for don't have the money like we do, right? We're the guys. Look at Hebot's channel. I hate watching his videos, right? Because it's cool to watch him do it, but at the same time, it makes me want to go buy the stuff, right? Which is bad for me right now. I mean, it's just that they're trying to change the demographic, and unfortunately, man, Disney's just it's all of this stuff that's coming together all at once is why they're failing. If you want me to be completely honest.
And what's worse is the streaming services are losing money, except for Netflix. These shows are losing money. Paramount Pictures, Paramount Plus will not report the numbers of Star Trek. They just won't. They just won't, which tells me all I need to know. The first week of House of the Dragons, HBO came out with the numbers: 29 million viewers.
29,
the first week of Rings of Power, they came out with the numbers, which Rings of Power was not woke. I don't know who started that rumor. That was bullshit. Rings of Power, 25 million, put Amazon's streaming services on the map. Paramount will not come out with their numbers. And look, that Star Trek, me and my buddy, my mechanic, we're lifelong trekkers since the days of the original Star Trek.
Right.
But I just could not get into Captain Picard's show where the people are talking down to Captain Picard like he's some doddering old man. This man literally saved this planet. I cannot be invested in a Star Trek where you guys want to erase Captain Kirk. I cannot be invested in a Star Trek. And I'm sure on Star Trek Strange New Worlds, this guy Anson Mount, who plays a character named Captain Christopher Pike, I'm sure he's doing a fantastic job. He looks like he's a good actor. He's a handsome looking dude. I just can't buy into the show right away when you got some transgenderous looking crew member mouthing off at the captain.
Yeah, and here
it makes no sense.
And here's the thing, man. And from a philosophical level, I've noticed that modern day they hate the heroes we grow up with, but the people they try to replace as our heroes are just horrible people. You know, how are you going to be? Listen, I understand it's fiction, but how are you going to be in a if you will, kind of militarized state like Star Trek and talk down to your commanding officer? That shit doesn't happen in real life.
You never seen it.
No,
you never see nobody talking down to Captain Kirk.
Listen, I can't even go to my boss and be like, "Hey man, fuck you, man. What the fuck's your problem?" I'm out of there before I finish that sentence. Yeah. And yet on these shows, they want us to believe that just because somebody is gay, you like being gay does not mean you have experience commanding anybody. You do realize that, right? The reason why Cisco was a great commander in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, not because he was black, but because he proved time and time again throughout the whole run of the show that he was the perfect man for the job during the war setting they had on that show, right?
There's a great interview with Avery Brooks. You can look it up on YouTube when he's at a convention. And they asked him, like, how does it feel to be the first black commander? And he didn't know how to respond to it.
Yeah.
And he basically said that, bro. He basically looked at the reporter and he said, no, all I know is to be the best that I can be. Like an actor, right? He just gave this really straight, because dude, one thing that I hate about some people is like, okay, I shouldn't say it that way, that's kind of strong. But people don't remember who Avery Brooks, dude, I remember him from Spencer for Hire.
And it's sad. Spencer for Hawk.
Yeah, Hawk. He was Hawk. And Spencer for Hire. So if you a lot of these guys don't understand the body of work that some of these people, like E-Rock, the guy you mentioned, Ensign, that dude, like he played Ensign Mount, dude. I've always felt bad for him because he should be bigger than what he is, but the roles that he occupies, and he talked about that with Star Trek, when he was coming in, because he kind of referenced the Inhumans, because he played Black Bolt.
Yeah.
So he was kind of, he feels like deja vu coming all over again, right? And yeah, I'm sorry, Unlimited. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no. You're spot on. And also another thing about Avery Brooks, the only time he ever mentioned race interview wise was when he said one of the reasons he took the role was because he wanted a positive black father on TV. Yes. He didn't say I took it because we needed black commanders. No. Everything else because he's just a great actor and knew how to play the part. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you build heroes. Listen, let me give you another great example. Blade. Wesley Snipes and Blade was so popular that the comics changed his look. Because before 1998, Blade looked like some dude out of the 70s. After 1998, that look has stuck, and he looks like Wesley Snipes since 1998 to present time. That's how iconic his role as Blade was. And again, there was never a moment in Blade where the vampires like, well, we gotta stop Blade. We can have black vampires. No, right? Blade was just kicking ass and stopping vampires because that was in his bloodline and all that other stuff.
That's why they won't bring him back though, because he got more popular than the character.
Yeah, well, good. Yeah, sometimes that's good. All right. Sometimes, because listen, let's be real here. Blade was not the Marvel's version of Superman, where he's perfect for somebody who took over the role and updated it so people. I'd rather see Wesley Snipes Blade than that 70s shit he had before 1998. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm pretty sure Blade was cool before then, but now he just looks like a badass who I'd read in comics too. And sometimes that's how it is. But who
Bokeem Woodbine is?
Bokeem Woodbine. He's a great actor. He's been on a ton of movies over the last 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the person I thought they were going to revamp it with, and they went with that dude from man, he was in Onyx.
Yeah.
Sticky Fingers.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Man, all you guys is old. No, just joking.
Series. I got the series, man. The House of Chthon, and I got the other series.
Oh,
nice, dude. But I mean, when he came in, dude, I was like that. I was like, dude, who can step in and do Wesley Snipes? And he did a really great job. I actually liked that show. It was on Spike TV, right? I think
yeah.
Back in the day. Yeah, but I'm sorry. Yeah, to get back. Look, dude, Disney. They'd be feeling themselves too much, right? You can tell creativity is out the window. Most of this is what's sad about it, man. You can tell, like, what's the name of the brothers that did Infinity War and all that?
The Russo brothers.
Russo brothers are gone. The dude that did the first Ant-Man left, right? So you saw all these people kind of exiting, right? Somebody should have checked Taika Waititi. I love that dude. I love his other movies, but he's another one that was feeling himself too much. In fact, this past week, Thor, Chris Hemsworth kind of came on and talked about
it. Yeah, he did. He wanted more serious because again, Thor is the god of thunder. I have plenty. Listen, I may not be as big of a Marvel fan as I am DC, but there are multiple Marvel comics I did own. Thor, X-Men, and Black Panther. Right before they all blew up. Thor in the comics I see why he's one of their top 3 dudes. In the movies, he's just a dumbass who does jokes. And I want to give one last example of a character who should be used as reputation but doesn't. In Gotham Knights, Renee Montoya is gay, right? And she never once mentioned in the game.
Never once.
Never, and not because oh you don't want to represent. No, because there's no. What's the point of saying I'm gay in a game where Batman's dead and she's the only real one of the few legit cops who could help save Gotham. What dialogue? And this is why I don't like that shit, right? Because they always throw into like this weird dialogue to the fans at the worst moments, like a Marvel joke, right? Where some big would be going down.
Oh, you go for the jugular.
Yeah. Star Trek had a terrible one. The Star Trek Discovery had the worst one I've seen, man. Where this lady, she just made some weird sexual reference when the ship's about to blow up, right? So ship's about to blow up in Star Trek Discovery, and she's like, I can't wait to ram you tonight. And it's like, what does it's like, what does this have to do with anything?
Dude, the only person that could pull that off is Mel Brooks, man. If you ain't Mel Brooks, don't
Yeah. Well,
these people, sadly, these people who call themselves fans, who hate us, who hate the actual fans of these franchises, have infiltrated into the highest levels of entertainment everywhere across the globe. And what they're doing is very sinister and very sneaky. And the only way it's going to stop is if enough of this shit fails. I don't know if you guys follow this legendary British science fiction show that's going on now for, my God, over almost 60 years, called Doctor Who.
Yeah,
well, the new Doctor Who, fantastic series. I've watched it since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And into its new revival post 2005. Well, the new Doctor is going to be black. He's black, but he's also gay. I don't want that to be the emphasis. I want the emphasis to be back on good science fiction. If you can do that, you will get the audience back, because too many of these people, like Alex Kurtzman, has infiltrated Star Trek and already done his damage, have snuck it in Sega Forever and Unlimited production into the highest levels of entertainment. Case in point, I'm gonna plant my flag. There's this actress, writer out there named Phoebe Waller-Bridge. You may not know her name yet, but you will soon. I did not know this, but she was one of the co-writers on one of the biggest franchises ever, a movie called No Time to Die, which was Daniel Craig's farewell as James Bond, right?
Yeah.
So what she did was, they've been after James Bond and Captain Kirk forever. So they finally got Captain Kirk, I think. They got Doctor Who. Their fucking goal was to get two more dudes, Indiana Jones and James Bond. Well, James Bond was inherited by this chick named Barbara Broccoli, whose father, Albert Broccoli, started the James Bond franchise. So out of respect to her father, they couldn't totally fuck up James Bond. But what they did, Sega Forever, was suddenly Q, the guy that makes all James Bond's gadgets, after decades of being a straight man, Q was just suddenly gay. And they slyly snuck it in there in a way that if you weren't paying attention, you would miss it, where James Bond and Miss Moneypenny comes in and Q's like, well, you're disturbing me. I'm making dinner and he'll be here in a few minutes. They kind of like snuck it in there. They had to get that gayness and that 2022 representation in there some kind of way. But Phoebe Waller-Bridge ain't done yet, because she's the co-writer and the co-star of Indiana Jones 5, which there shouldn't have been an Indiana Jones 5, because Indiana Jones, who's one of my favorite characters, his story ended perfectly, whether you liked it or not, with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But nope, it wasn't enough. Disney now owns Indiana Jones, so what does that mean? We got to bring this motherfucker back. Never mind that he's 85 years old, right? There's only but so much that Harrison Ford can do. But this website called 4chan leaked the plot, right? And 4chan has been correct about how horrible Ghostbusters 2016 was going to be. And they were correct on Han Solo dying in 2015. They got all of this shit right. Apparently, Indiana Jones is going to be fighting Nazis again. And how this is possible is time travel. Indiana Jones time travels back to the Nazis. He time travels back to ancient Rome. And this chick, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, is accompanying him. At some point, they run into the younger Indiana Jones. He gets killed, and Harrison Ford gets killed. And supposedly this chick is going to be the new Indiana Jones moving forward. I can't make this shit up. Now, Sega Forever, this has been reported by 3 newspapers and 226 YouTubers. So now it's got to be right. It's got to be right. So
they also had the early screenings, right?
yeah, that's right. They had the early screenings with like what 25 different endings, and nobody liked none of them. So it's like, I hate to report this unlimited production, but it looks like they destroyed one of the last heroes that was left. They got Indiana Jones. Now, if this doesn't depress you, it shouldn't, because we're not emotionally attached to this shit. But they just couldn't leave Indiana Jones alone.
Yeah, I've always felt like if anyone should be feeling assaulted, it should be like women, because Hollywood has told you for a decade now that they can't create a woman on their own, except for Wonder Woman, who was created by a man, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't give you women who are just good characters on their own. They gotta hijack male characters to pull that off. Yeah. And if I was a woman, I'd feel insulted. You know what I'm saying? Hell, my black ass, I never wanted a black Superman. You know, I don't want I don't want Kal-El to be his ship drops in Detroit and some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, did you see what they do to Miles Morales in the comic book?
No.
What happened to Miles Morales?
He became Thor.
Oh yeah. No. Yes. And let me call out Marvel and their bullshit, because they gave him that jive. They gave him that racist jive talk, right? So he out there like so now that he's Thor, you know how Thor talks. You know, he talks like
like old Shakespearean.
Yeah. That old English. Where the Melnor type shit. This they made Miles Morales Thor, and he out there like, hey, what's up, my dude? How we gonna do this, dog? Type dialogue.
that's not exaggerating, E-Rock. It's exactly
written by white folks. Listen,
yeah, written by.
And that's what kills me about them SJW type Sega Forever is that they in their core they think they were writing that shit like oh this is gonna make black people so proud. And my thing is like, if you don't know anything about black culture, Hawaiian culture, whatever the case, just don't do it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because that shit is just embarrassing.
I get that over here, man, because like I'm Hawaiian, right? So people be like, man, I'm sorry, what happened to your people, as they put down that $5.2 million for the mansion on the beach. I'm like, you don't have to apologize, man. Just do you, man. I wish I could afford a $5.2 million mansion on the beach. When I go to surf, man, you better open that gate. That's all I'm gonna say.
Now, guys, I'm hoping that the Indiana Jones leaks are wrong, but like they were filming in a city called Edinburgh, Scotland, right? So one of the scenes was with Indiana Jones surrounded by these Roman soldiers, and another scene was him and this actor named Mads Mikkelsen. I can't never pronounce his name. He plays Grindelwald in the Harry Potter franchise now.
Yeah, he was one of the best parts of Doctor Strange. He was
and he was with Chiffre in Casino Royale. But they filmed him in like Nazi gear. So like this shit like it is becoming frighteningly accurate. And like I can't see. We already know that Harrison Ford, like, he don't care about this shit because he was the one who said, "Yeah, fucking kill off Han Solo."
Yeah.
But to kill off George Lucas's characters like this, like, is this some kind of level of disrespect that we've never seen before? That they really hate these characters that much?
Well, it's like Unlimited said, bro. It's like Unlimited said. They that's how. What you're getting is their version of what a strong woman is, which is basically a dude, which I think is sad.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that's all it is. Like, I'll be honest with you guys, man. Like, if you want to see what a strong woman is, you have to look at foreign cinema right now. Because like right now on Netflix, dude, I watch a lot of K-drama.
Yeah.
And there's this show I'm watching called Under the Queen's Umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a period piece, right? Which can be tricky, right? But since Koreans don't care, Koreans and Japanese, they don't care. They don't know about that kind of stuff because that's not, they got their culture is like 99% their own culture, right? So basically, you have this lady. She's the queen, but she's strong, but she's also vulnerable, right? And then she makes mistakes, right? And then there's these times where she's supposed to be the smartest person, but she's not. And then her husband, who's the king or the emperor, right? They kind of made him kind of like at the beginning. I thought they made him clueless, like he didn't know what was going on. And they both had the scene where the emperor was like, "I know exactly what's going on, but I'm bound by my title," right? So they do these things to give depth to a lot of these characters, right? Yep. They give them different shades of gray. so that when you watch it, right, you actually are a little bit surprised. You know that a show like that just not going to make it now in this country.
You
In
know
fact,
what?
Oh, go ahead, bro.
Oh no, you know who's also a great female representation, a Western one from this example, Amicia from A Plague's Tale.
Yeah,
Because like she don't listen. In the first game, she was a lot more scared and timid, and she kind of in her character grow, and she's using rocks and stuff to fight enemies. Now she uses like crossbows and stuff, and she's not afraid to speak up when somebody like threatens Hugo or something, but she's not out there. But she's not out. Yeah, but she's not out there beating dudes in arm wrestling matches and punching them and knocking them out like Mike Tyson.
He's not calling men stupid and worthless.
Yeah.
Because that's basically the agenda with most of these shows. That's what She-Hulk was the whole time, saying men were stupid and worthless and just look at women as sex objects, right?
No.
And then at the end of the show, you see She-Hulk twerking with Cardi B or whatever her fucking name is.
Yeah, the
Unbelievable.
The twerking shit don't bother me. Well, hey,
I'm just saying.
There's a bad echo.
You want to act that men are sexualizing, but then you put that in there. No, you're sexualizing your goddamn self.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing that threw me
That's
off.
hypocrisy. You know what I mean, Unlimited?
Yeah, hey, the one that threw me off though, was when she sit there, told Hulk to his face that being catcalled was worse than everything he experienced. And I'm like, no, I watched at least 2 Hulk films where the U.S. government was chasing him down. No, listen, if I had the government after me or some bitches saying they want to fuck me, dog, bring on the women, man.
Oh, God.
Do you know how egregious? There's an echo somewhere.
Oh, Keyboard, I think you're echoing. Oh, okay.
Do you know how egregious it is to write a line like that? And I'm sure that the 2022 be like, oh, shut up, E-Rock, shut up, Boomer. It's egregious to write a line to get your character over saying, I'm angry because I get catcalled by men all day. You don't know what it's like to be angry to the fucking Hulk. This nigga survived the nuclear blast or whatever the fuck. And motherfuckers like the leader and fucking Doc Samson and fucking General Thunderbolt Ross and it's so egregious to write a line like that. It's so egregious for these new Star Trek fans to say, William Shatner, he didn't go to Leonard Nimoy's funeral, and William Shatner, he didn't go to George Takei's wedding. I didn't know that William Shatner was obligated for the rest of his fucking life to take care.
That's why
to take care of his these people he worked with 50 years ago. That's he bought echoing again.
No, I'm just waiting for you to finish. I was going to say something.
But it's echoing. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I didn't know. Unlimited, you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, the new thing is, because I follow all entertainment. You still there, Sega Forever? Oh, he must. The new thing is they fucking hate William Shatner for some reason because he was successful. Rescue 911, the Travelocity commercials, fucking Boston Common, T.J. Hooker, movies. So it was William Shatner's responsibility to carry his castmates for 50 fucking years.
Many of them did well outside of Star Trek too.
Yes. So now, like I said, they hate Captain Kirk because he was a two-fisted man who made love to women, respected his crew, but now see that they got a new captain now, Unlimited Production, who hosts dinner parties for his crew. They have a new captain now who bakes pies and cakes for his fucking crew and talks about their feelings. Kirk ain't have time to talk about your fucking feelings. Kirk ain't have time for that shit. So now they want to destroy Captain Kirk. They want to destroy Han Solo. They're working on destroying Indiana Jones. They fucking destroyed Doctor Who because one of the best versions of Doctor Who, other than the fourth Doctor back in the 1970s, was this guy in 2006 or 7 named David Tennant. And they must have hated that David Tennant and his companion, this blonde chick named Rose, had a thing for each other. So we got to get rid of that shit. Anything masculine we got to get rid of. And I've been telling you they've been after James Bond forever. I've heard for like 10 years now, there should be a woman James Bond. There should be a female James Bond. Now, how the fuck exactly is that going to work? Like, think about the silliness of that question for 2 minutes. There should be a female 007. Well, they kind of tried that in No Time to Die, and the motherfucker who stole the show was this chick named Ana de Armas. She was only in the fucking thing for 15 minutes, but she steals the fucking show because she's hot, she's sexy, and she's friendly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They also hate sexy women as much as masculine men. Which I guess these obese, ugly ass obese women, they like for some reason they think they think liking sexy women means that you hate them. When it's like, nah, man, just lose weight and you'll be cool.
Yeah, or you're a creeper now. You're a creeper now. And it's a wonder they haven't tried to fucking ban the original James Bond movies, because Sean Connery didn't give a fuck. He would smack bitches on the ass. Yeah. He would punch bitches. He didn't give a shit. But I just never seen anything like this. So I'm being honest with you guys when I say I don't know where entertainment is heading. But if a guy like David Zaslav could come in and stick to his guns and clean this shit up, that'd be great. Because I'm kind of over all of this woke shit. I'm kind of over all of these characters being destroyed.
Well, E-Rock, that's why I said what I was saying to you on Instagram. Remember we were talking about the new Olivia Wilde movie? Mm-hmm. It was very, very interesting. It was pleasantly a good movie, but it was because of the way she was pushing her woke agenda, right? But she also put other scenarios where it's fucked up, right?
All right.
Like the young black girl, right? For example, right? The young black girl.
I gotta explain the plot for y'all, even know what he's about to talking about.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Just mute your mic for 1 second. There's this movie out called Don't Worry Baby. It's streaming now on HBO Max. Now, it's a good movie. If you don't want to hear any spoilers, just cover your ears. It's basically about this woman who's kind of, I hope you guys don't want me to spoil this movie, but if I don't spoil it, you're not going to understand what the fuck Eba's talking about. This woman is essentially trapped in the Matrix by her husband, who's a fucking incel. And these incels they belong to this fucking company called Victory. And what Victory will do, Victory creates an alternate reality, a perfect 1950s reality where the husbands go out to work in fabulous cars, have fabulous homes, and they come out and their wives are waiting for them with dinner and a drink ready. Just like in the 1950s, right? There's only one problem. This shit is the fucking Matrix, and the women are actually drugged and chained the fuck up. And they are being forced to participate in these incels' fantasies. I'm sorry I just spoiled Don't Worry Baby for you, but I had to tell you the plot.
Yeah, but it's not really spoiling because there's a lot of things there. Like the whole main character was that the boyfriend wasn't doing as well as she was. She was the one that was making the money, working in the hospital.
That's right.
And he wanted to give her a better life, but because he had, I think, was a drug problem also, he couldn't. So he did this deal with them, and he told them, okay, you could experiment with us and put them in here, and what it would be is that every time the women were inside there, the men would actually get taken out and work for them in the real world. But the women thought they were in this other world. But then there was other scenarios, like with the black young lady, where the husband was making her do shit she didn't want to do, and she does something crazy later on because of it. Then there was the situation with Olivia. Right. But then there was the other situation where it was kind of done with Olivia Wilde's character, where she wanted to be in there because their 2 children died. And so she wanted to be there because in that world, her children were alive. You see what I'm saying? So she wanted that life. So it was showing different perspectives of scenarios with husband and wives, so to speak, with women, how some want certain things, some don't. Some men want to control the women, some don't. And in the situation with the girl was that she wanted to, she was the independent one. She didn't want to be held down by her husband, which, basically is an incel, whatever. But he had a drug issue and he didn't know how to fix it. But he was trying to give her a better life. It's a weird movie, but it's an interesting movie. And the execution.
It's interesting. But goddamn, I mean, this nigga has his wife.
That's not realistic.
That's not realistic.
Listen, let's be real here, man.
Let's be real here, man. It's
when the power goes out. Thank you. Yeah, man. When the power goes out, it's not the women that's going out there. Listen, man. My now ex-girlfriend, when her car went out, she called me to go fix it. She didn't like, hold on, I'm fixing my car. I'll be there late. She like, hey, Colin, can you take care of this? I'm like, yeah, I'll knock it out. So whenever I see stuff like that where they pretend that, and this is no shot at women, because to me, women has a lot of strength that men don't have, right? And I always saw life as more as a balancing act.
Yes.
This weird competition society pretends where they badly want to put women against men. And then the irony is that they say women are up, women are this and that, but they try to turn women to men and men into women. That tells me that you think feminine aspects are weak. I don't think being feminine is weak. I think being feminine is different.
Here.
All right. Listen. Whenever I had issues growing up, if I was dealing with something more emotional, my mom was better fit for that. I could go to my mom and talk to her. Hey, mom, I'm depressed. This and that. If I go to my dad and say I'm depressed, if I go to my dad and say I'm depressed, he's like, "Hey, man, he gonna try to put me to work because
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. I was about to say that a father, even though he could be a good father, he could never comfort their children the way that a mother would.
Yeah,
mother's always good at comforting her children. A woman is always good at keeping a family together. A man can't do that. We're not fit and built that way. And even if we try to do it the best we can, because we got proof here with our brother Sega Forever. He does a good job with his kids, right? Me, myself, I've done it with my children as well when I had to be with them alone, right? But it could never be at the level of a woman, because only a woman has that skill and strength and compassion and patience, right? To deal with things that most men, just by our natural progression, because naturally that's the way we were built, can do, right? And it's almost like women believe that as something bad. Huh?
You weren't insulted by that motherfucking movie. That movie.
I was pissed off in a way, but at the same time,
that shit was saying that men.
At the same time, I understood the part of Olivia Wilde's character. Like, for example, her kids died. She wanted them back, and the only way she could see them is through there, because they were alive in that world. That part didn't insult me. The other stuff, yeah, I was insulted.
They telling me that the only way a man can have a happiness is to chain a bitch up to an IV.
No.
And fucking go into virtual reality.
Of course not. Right. No.
And that's the great lie.
But that's what the movie didn't do well. That's why the movie didn't do well. That's why, it had a lot of bad press. But I'm just saying that it's interesting, but it's just like, really? That's like what we were just talking about. It's pushing that whole ideology of men are weak, or women can be as strong as men, and men try to demonize women and make them look like they're not good enough, or they're not strong enough, or they're not equal enough. It's because of the whole topic we're talking about. That's all you keep seeing. But in that movie, they started doing it a different way.
Yeah, look, man. The moment that I see a WNBA player dunk on LeBron,
then I'll believe all that.
You mean WNBA, right?
Yeah.
Brittany Griner just dunked on his ass. Damn.
Yeah. All right, then I'll start believing that. And she got to do it more than once too, because the first time was probably just him being nice. But hey, man, all jokes aside, it's just one of the things at the core. I don't really like stuff like that because I'm sick. I feel bad for little boys because they're in a world where everything male is so bad. No wonder why there's boys that be struggling out there, man. And if you don't have a male role model, there are a lot of boys out there who are screwed because of not having that alone. Which I feel.
Oh yeah.
Because
listen,
how can you tell a boy since he was as little that him running around is bad? He got to sit down, be quiet, and all this other stuff,
which is more feminine traits.
that you know it benefits
girls for a reason.
Listen, here's the
truth of the matter.
If you could mute yourself
real quick, T-Bot.
Sure thing.
Here's the truth of the matter. It's gonna piss off some people. Women give birth, men don't. And because of that, when my mom was pregnant, my dad was the one who had to pick up the slack and take care of the household, while my mom stayed home and raised me while she was pregnant with my brother and sister. Oh well, that's life. It doesn't mean my mom is weak. It doesn't mean my mom doesn't contribute. It doesn't mean any of that. But because in this modern society, we've tricked people into thinking you only matter if you contribute to a corporation or a job or some bullshit. Now people think that the basis of life has no meaning, and to me it has more meaning than just fucking working. Listen, I as much as I enjoy my job does not mean shit to me compared to I care more about hanging out with you guys than my job. My job pays a bill. Yeah, my job's getting me far in life of what I need to keep a roof over my head. Sure. But when I die, it's not gonna be, oh man, I should have worked 12 hours a day. No, when I die, it's gonna be all the memories I had with my friends and family. And so that tells me alone that the priority of life is not just how you work or some shit that society's been poisoning us to think. And I'm sorry to get a little more off the top of like entertainment.
No, speak your truth.
But my point is, man. Listen, here's the thing. A part of being a man is that, at least for me, in the way that I was raised, is that one day, like my dad, like my grandfather, I'm gonna have a family to take care of, and when that day comes, I'm building myself up right now for that moment, so my kids can have a better life than I did, and like how my dad wanted me to have a better life than he did, and all this other stuff, right? That's how I see it. I don't see it as, oh, I can't wait to hold women down. Men don't think like that. Men do not work in sewers and factories and all this other hard labor shit and then come on just to spite their wives. Nobody does that shit.
Look, no man is at home, all right, or not home. There's no man at work, right, while they're doing the job. Like, yeah, my wife better have my food done. That's my slave. She better have my bed done. Yeah, she better bend over and give me that asshole so I can fuck her right in the noggin. No, men don't think like that. You know what we think when we're at work? You know what we do when we're at work? God damn, I want work to be over. It's just annoying.
Yep.
Listen,
that's what we do.
They act like husbands are Leonardo DiCaprio and
Django Unchained.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, but mute your mic for a minute.
Sure.
That was in the movie. That was in that movie. I'm not dogging out Don't Worry, Baby. It's just after I reviewed it after the fact, I see now that it was kind of some kind of bullshit negative agenda towards men. Like they did a weird break almost midway through the movie where she was trying to do an M. Night Shyamalan or a Jordan Peele, but she had her reveal midway through the movie. And you saw that this dude was a fucking incel living in the apartment, a married incel, which makes no sense. So his wife that works at a hospital double shifts gets home, and she's like, "What's for dinner?" And this motherfucker's like, "Well, I didn't really cook anything. I didn't know what you want." Like, if that was me, my boo would have came home and dinner would have already been made. Like, they really went out of their way to make men look fucking bad.
Right, that's the reality, E-Rock. A good man, if his wife isn't working and you're home for whatever reason, right? It could be like my situation. Let's say I'm ill, right? Because of my ailment. My wife come home and she works 8 hours, 10 hours. I'm going to make sure that she has a food to eat and that her shit is clean and that she don't have to come home and do more work after she worked 10 hours in the fucking job.
And
that's just real love. That's a real relationship. That's real.
Here's a novel idea. If she's married to an incel, then just divorce him. I don't understand. It sounds like the solution to that movie could be solved in an hour. Hey, honey, you ain't doing your part. This ain't working. Boom, movie over.
Oh man, like that's one of them motherfucking movies. It's got to be seen to be believed. I appreciate the execution.
Sometimes you gotta suspend your disbelief with movies, but that one sounds like it'll be a little hard for me to do because the whole time I'll just be watching like, she could have just divorced him and problem solved if he's that terrible.
Yeah, but man, they really hate men. They really hate masculinity. They hate fucking femininity. They hate fucking we living in wild times.
And here's the worst part: they want you to conform to that. As
Look,
if only their views
look, the
matter.
reality of it is this: if all of us, right, in society, conform to these wild ways of thinking, right, of how things should be between men and women, we're going to be extinct sooner than what you think, because we're not even going to have, we're not even going to have more lives being born and life circling, the life cycle to continue. Because then all we're gonna be like, oh, I don't have to have no kids. There's no point in that. I just gotta go work. And for what? What is your end game? When you're working, when you're alone and who's gonna take care of you? Your job? They're gonna fire you, let you go. It's okay. Thank you for working. Here's your pension. Bye. Then you have a soulless life with nothing to look forward to. No family, no nothing. That's the reality, and that's what the problem is with most of these younger women, because they really feed into that bullshit. And they think, oh yeah, I gotta have my best life. Okay, go right ahead. And then when you by yourself, useless, that men don't want you because you just been doing something stupid. You don't have no type of, like feminine values, right? Because it's not cool to be feminine, even though you're a female. Then don't cry when you're 4 years old and you're single. You don't have nobody. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, truth be told, I'm not gonna speak for all of y'all here, but from my experience, men don't date women who just act like men. That shit ain't sexy. You know what I'm saying? If you want to turn me off, if you want to turn me off, let me come home and be like, hey, what's up, my nigga? I ain't fucking you tonight.
Just like Sega Man. Sega Man, man. What's up, my nigga?
Hey, funny thing, real quick. I had a date that approached me like that once, right? So I met her on the date, and I'm thinking, okay, cool, she cute. Okay, we could get this. The moment I met her, she's like, "What's up, my nigga?" And everything just fell apart. She was nice enough.
Like, oh hell no!
It was like hanging out with a homeboy. Then
right.
Then a date.
Right.
Man, I'd have ran. You told me I was going out with Janet Jones, not Grace Jones. I'm out of here, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, I had to step out again, man. But I'm back. I'm back for good this time.
Hey, Sega forever. Sega Man said you fired, man. He said,
I know.
Can't be.
Sega Man gonna take over this podcast. My bad, man. Just take it over. Yeah, I had something with my son, man. He got called up for his ROTC, so he was rushing around trying to get his uniform ready.
Oh no, man, that happens. It happens. We done went 2 hours, man. You want to wrap things up, or what's going on, brother?
We can. And I was listening to everything you said.
Yo, let me say something real quick.
No, go ahead, Sega Man. Go ahead.
You woke, Sega Man?
Man, I've been woke. Y'all niggas don't let me talk, nigga. Man. You like motherfucking hate this motherfucker.
Oh God!
Put us in our place.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Get the talk. Oh my God.
Hey, brothers, I agree with everything E-Rock said. I agree with everything He-Bot said. I definitely agree with everything that our brother Unlimited said. These days, guys, I'm 50 years old. I do not respect the way they do our movies now. I refuse to go see these movies because they want to make it an agenda, man. I'm sorry. I don't know if people want to get offended about it. That's fine, man. You know what I mean? Everybody, they have their own opinions about things, but this woke stuff, they kind of want to try to force it on you in a way, and they want you to accept it, brothers. I understand some stuff can maybe change a little bit, but when you walk into, stores, when you go to different places, when you see it in your movies, like I had a friend that was watching the show called, I think it's Power. I think it was Power, or it was one of the shows. He said it was cool and everything. He said these dudes were talking, and the one dude started bending him over the ass and fucking them. And it ruined the whole show for him. So he stopped watching the show. So they're implementing all this stuff into like these shows and into movies. And I'm just one of them old school dudes. I'm one of the old guards at the gate.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed with what I'm hearing about the Black Panther. Now I'm going to see it. I'm going to see Wakanda Forever when it comes out. I'm thinking about buying it. You know what I mean? If I don't like it, you know, it's just I'll just put it in, you know, with the collection. But I just heard just a lot of.
You gonna come back with a dashiki on next podcast?
Yeah, man. Like the first one is the best one. You know what I mean? So I can't accept the way they're doing this. Like you said, with Disney and all that, they're all over the place. They're being ruined. I mean, it's bad, man. It's bad. This stuff with this new agenda stuff is actually ruining entertainment. It really is, man. The way they're doing things, guys.
It crept into gaming. Remember The Last of Us 2?
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say, E-Rock. That's the whole thing that we've been saying the whole time. It's what's ruining stuff with games as well. But they try to push narratives, whether it's, you know, woke, lesbian, whatever, political. Games are not for that. Games are to relax and escape. Just let it be in a fantasy world, doing crazy stuff, having fun, whatever. And if you're going to put it so that other people that are, let's say, transsexual or lesbian, let it be a choice like they did in Mass Effect or they did in Fable way before, where if you wanted to be gay, okay, you can be gay if you're a gay person. If you want to be straight, you can be straight. If you want to get married, you can get married. You don't want to get married, you don't believe in marriage, you didn't have to. When it's a choice, then it's okay, because at least everybody can feel included, but nobody feels left out or disrespected or violated or crossed. That's it. It's that simple. It's not that hard. But when you go and sit there and be like, no, you're going to play as this girl, Abby, even though she looked like a girl and she was supposed to be a girl, but she's really a tranny. And, you know, I'm going to put my self-indulgent stuff and ideologies in the whole game. You understand? Because I'm
popular
male character.
Yes.
Because I'm also Neil Druckmann. Because you remember before the game came out, Neil Druckmann was like, he did like his panel for the, you know, for women and not to sexualize them. And he was the one that put up on the board in the back Cortana. When Cortana is an AI digital render that she's supposed to have like a suit on. And because she looks all, you know, with her boobs and breasts, that it was sexualizing. He tried to throw that in there, trying to be sneaky and throwing a jab at Microsoft. You get what I'm saying? That fucking scum.
Yeah.
Dudes like those are
annoying.
Oh yeah. He's a simp.
Because
he's a fucking simp. That's exactly what he is.
Yeah, but they're always fake because you know damn well if he was walking down the street, saw a big titty woman, he'd be like, oh damn, them bitch got big titties. That's okay. Listen, I will listen. There are two things I will always believe. Every white person has said the N-word at least once in their life, and every dude has looked at women and was like, and every dude has looked at women, especially sexy women, and was like, damn, she looked good or some form. So if we're all gonna sit there and be outraged every single time this shit happens, count me out because I've been alive long enough to know that this shit happens. Oh well, sometimes just gotta let shit be and move on. Nobody died. All right. Here's an unpopular opinion. Listen, I got to make this shit clear because I know how people think. I hate racism, but I don't get upset for every time a white guy says the N-word because it doesn't affect me, right? I guarantee right now some white dude saying something racist, some racist white dude saying something racist, and what's happening? Nothing. We're on this podcast enjoying life. So what's the point of being upset every single time this shit happens? And same thing with women. I guarantee there's a guy right now who just saw a fine woman, said something and moved on. She didn't die. She didn't hurt. She nothing. He just saw a fine woman and life moved on. So I think society needs to relax a little, man. Just let shit fly.
Society needs to relax a little. Society needs to relax a little bit and also do a fucking reality check and check themselves. I'm on Instagram and you know shit come in your feed. So we're all on Instagram, which now has become basically fucking Insta thoughts. It's Insta whores. So we're all in this motherfucking this TikTok video on Instagram where this chick is shaking her ass, and this dude actually comes in there white knight and saying, "Oh, you guys are cringe. You're sitting here sexualizing those women." And the first thing I said is, "Motherfucker, what are you doing here? Like, why are you here?" Like
He's
the
probably
irony.
looking for dudes. He's probably looking for dudes.
Sega man, the irony of this dude comment on us saying we're sexualizing this woman. Like, why are you here?
He's
Certain
one of them
ladies-
dudes. He's
You're
one
right,
of
you
them
know
dudes
what
who
I
think
tell
they
him?
look.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Alan. Sorry.
No, I just said he's probably one of them dudes who thinks they actually love him.
Yeah, it's like this 2022 is just crazy, Sega man. You can't make this shit up. All you can do is just look at the lunacy and just keep it moving.
We got to go down where Sega Forever is. 'Cause I'm gonna tell you what, man. There's some good ass looking Hawaiian women, nigga.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, that's
I know there is. I know there's some good looking Hawaiian women down there, bro.
They are, man, but it's like the postcards, man. Not everything is as it seems. They're like anywhere else, man. There's fine women all over the place, right? But I'm gonna give you guys a word of advice, right? If you hook up with a local girl, remember now she comes as a set. Okay, so it's not just the girl. You get the entire family, man.
Oh man,
You're gonna get the uncle. You go get the dad.
That's how it is dating Hispanic women too.
Yeah, you get the whole. Because, dude, I work with the military, right? So there's one of my friends, man. He wanted to do. He just loves like darker women, right? So he met this girl from Waianae, right? And they ended up dating and stuff like that. And he approached me, man, like I was gonna be offended that he's dating one of my kind or something like that. I was like, dude, I don't care. Date whoever you want to date, right? But I told him, I was like, dude, remember now, you get the whole family, not just the girl. He didn't know what I was talking about, and then they actually got married, and now he lives out in.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, dude, he lives out in Maile, and then we saw each other, right? And he's like, okay, man, I know what you're talking about. You gotta go to every baby luau, right? They gotta bring at least 20 cases of juice, right?
Ask E-Rock, man, in Philly. You fucking date one of them Philly bitches, man. You doing wrong, they stab your ass, man. Knife waiting for you and shit, man, when you get home.
Yeah, and when you get married, you got to have a half a pig ready for the wild Samoans. You going down out here, man.
Dude, over here, man, it's just like you never gonna go on vacation. You're gonna take at least one of your cousins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the families here are big. That's the only thing I say. Dude, I was growing up in the mainland, so when I came back here, I had a culture shock when I came back here. Man.
I tell you, when I went down to see E-Rock and Hebot, in Jersey, where Hebot lives, man, all around Jersey, mind you, I have the family with me, the wife and the kids, but I'm gonna tell you what, man, on the real, it was real hard not to, because we were on the beach, it was real hard not to stay focused, because there was a lot of Latino chicks looking real good down there, G. I'm talking real good, man. I had to stay focused, man. I had to stay unlimited. There, I'm telling you, unlimited. I had to stay focused. There were some beautiful ass women down there, bro. I'm telling you, man.
I know the wife was like, she ain't saying nothing, but she's probably like under her breath, man. I dare you to look. Go ahead and look.
Bro, I was like, damn, like when they would go, when they would go swimming, they would go do something. I would go, do something else. You know what I mean? Like there was a couple times where they wanted to do something and I would just go somewhere else. But we were in the same vicinity. But the women down there, bro, damn, dude.
Oh, the Puerto Rico women, forget about it.
Man.
I know your wife for the kids is like, Tony, we're going to the pool to the pool day. No, I'm gonna go hang out with Hebot. I ain't
limited, man. In Puerto Rican women, bro, I'm telling you, man. It was wow.
When you hear, man, if you meet another like a Hawaiian, like I'm Hawaiian, so you meet another Hawaiian, man, you gotta do the family tree. And make sure those branches kind of go out. You know what I mean? I asked my dad that. I was like, Dad, man, why is this hard for me to go? He said, boy, this is an island.
Did you guys, before we leave, I know Unlimited did a video and I have to check it out. Did you guys pick up anything for Black Friday? I have to watch Unlimited's video. I went out today. I got a few like 4K movies. I didn't really get any games Unlimited. I might try and go back out tomorrow just to look around. But I was telling Sega Forever earlier, I think E-Rock was in here, that it doesn't seem like there's good deals out there, man. I mean, I'm gonna try and look tomorrow, but
I found some surprisingly good deals. I got my shit out the way before Thanksgiving, though.
Did you?
Okay. Yeah, no way was I gonna deal with it today. Not.
Yeah, happening. Man, it's crazy. I went out for a little bit, and where I went, it wasn't busy. But when certain places here in PA, it was kind of busy, Unlimited. But it just seems like the deals that they had for Black Friday are not deals. because
Yeah.
everything went up. I mean, like everything, food, whatever, electronics, everything like that went up. Now I might go venture at Best Buy tomorrow. Look around a little bit. and see
Best
what's
Buy
going on.
for retailers, Best Buy to me has had the best deals, man. There's been some surprisingly good stuff. I picked up a lot personally.
Yeah.
Like Sonic Frontiers that just came out last week, that was $30, and that
Wow.
might be sold out already because
That's cheap.
that went on sale super fast. That
The
was
controllers
$30.
too, yeah.
Yeah, the controllers are $40
yeah.
right now. So there's some good stuff at Best Buy in particular that I found. I do kind of want to hype up this game, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I actually bought that one on the Xbox store.
That looks
from their
good.
Sale. That game is surprisingly awesome.
Did you buy it digitally?
Yeah. It's I bought it digitally off the Xbox store.
How much was it?
$35.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and for the Xbox Series X, because there are two versions. One's like the Xbox One, the other's the Xbox Series X.
Okay.
So I picked up the Series X version. That game is surprisingly awesome. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
you like the writing, dude? The writing's solid, dude. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
The
And
commentary.
yeah, man. It I just beat this one boss, the Banshee, before I jumped on here and all this stuff. That game is damn good. And the only negative is that they you know how all games have performance and resolution mode.
Yeah.
The resolution mode is horrible.
Oh, really?
Horrible. It's definitely the worst I've seen on any game yet.
Man.
Yeah, it looks like you know how people always say a game looks like a 360 game? That one legit looks like a 360 game in resolution mode. I don't know why it looks so bad.
Talking
But
about the jaggies, right?
performance mode, it looks great. And it's got this beautiful cell shaded graphics.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with it. It took me by surprise. I had no clue it's going to be this fun.
You
Did
can
you
tell those
find-
guys actually play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that to go on sale. That Dungeon and Dragons. That's a really good game. That one Dungeon and Dragon game. I think it came out
it was on
around
Game
the same
Pass,
time
right?
the X came out, the Series X.
Solstice? Is it Solstice?
Which one is it? Unlimited. It was good. It looks good graphically. I think it has ray tracing in it.
Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, right?
Dark Alliance, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I bought that.
with people. That
Yeah.
one's
It was on
pretty,
sale. Yeah, sorry.
No, that one's pretty good. And Unlimited. Did you find a TV?
Yes, but I didn't buy it yet. I'm going to play the long game on this one because the TV I originally went for, it didn't look as good as I thought. And I understand that even in stores they got like a presentation mode, so it's probably not a 1-to-1 representation how it looked on home. But the Samsung TV I looked at, I was stunned by how bad it looked.
Oh,
Yeah. So now,
Which one?
so now,
Is it the
and
Q? Not the Q9.
the Q80B, I think it was called.
Oh yeah, the 80B. The 80B.
Yeah, that one, it didn't look good. So now I saw this LG TV that I'm gonna get, but it was sold out for Black Friday because that one had a good sale.
Oh,
So
did?
once,
Okay.
Yeah, so once it's in stock, probably around Super Bowl time, I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up.
Yeah, some of them Samsung TVs, they're hit or miss. You know what I mean? I got mine a good deal last year before the Super Bowl because my other Samsung went. I had it for years, but the one I have now, it's pretty good. It's 58-inch crystal,
Right.
4K, ultra 4K TV.
Hmm.
It's pretty good. You know, I got it for a good deal on sale because that's a good time to get it too. When before the Super Bowl comes around, they try to push those big time, and they're like phenomenal prices, man, for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then yesterday at Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving this year was held at my cousin's house, man. And he lives close to me. He's like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
He got a giant TV in his game room. It was like something like 85 inches. It was
Wow.
That's what I'm looking at, dude. That's what
No,
I'm looking
I
at.
didn't want to leave that room.
That's-
But I didn't want to leave that room. And he has a PS5, so he was playing God of War. By the way, God of War Ragnarok is boring as fuck. And I played it, man, because he was like, "Hey, you want to play?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" I jumped on that thing for like 30 minutes. Oh man, that game was a slog. That game is I don't know how. If that game didn't have the Sony name brand under it, people would complain about it being one of those.
Oh, of course,
one of those
man.
overly long. You know how they complain about Ubisoft games? Why is there so much to do in this game? It'll be like that, except there's not much to do. Like the part that he had me play, I'm riding a sled with these two dogs that never stop barking for some reason. I don't know what it is with Sony games and noise, but the dogs won't stop barking. even though I'm trying to find a key and find a chest and stuff, right, to
Yeah.
progress. And so the dog's like, roo, 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 every fucking second. And during the puzzle where the moment you come to any like stop, the character that's with you is gonna say, hey, maybe you gotta pull that down. Maybe you gotta use your axe. And it's like, let me just I'm looking at him like, hey man, does this game just let you play? And you know, he's like, oh no, this game is great, man. You gotta turn your brain off and play. I'm like, nah, man. So I have the TV was gorgeous, man. That thing was huge. It was more like a theater in its room than that shit. But the game
turn your brain off. If you turn your brain off anymore and got God of War 4, you'll be in a coma. Shit, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man. But God of War Ragnarok is not for me.
Mr. Kima said I have an 85-inch Samsung 4K. Damn.
Yeah, and I bet that thing looks gorgeous in his whatever he has in his house. Yeah,
I don't have the room unlimited. I mean, my game room in the basement it's big enough, but like the entertainment system that stand that I have can probably fit roughly maybe a 60 or 65. But then if it goes that big, I won't be able to put the Series X like sit beside it on the top. It's one
right. Yeah.
Put together.
Well,
so
that makes
Yeah,
that makes sense because you got a museum in your basement, so I get that.
Yeah, bro, that's a museum down there, man.
Yeah,
it's a archives of old school like the Sega Forever games.
my dude Sega Man has the Odyssey 2. When I saw that video, I'm like, what the fuck is the Odyssey 2?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that existed. Bro. You can charge, man. Start charging admission.
Yeah, man. Some of that stuff is a lot of that stuff is put away. I think my favorite old school system would probably be the ColecoVision.
Yeah.
So I still have that. So
you got Intellivision, any of that?
I had it in television. Yeah, I think I have Atari 7800 right now and the ColecoVision. And I think what else? I think there's this other Atari that I have. But I'm really like I like the TurboGrafx 16. You know what I mean? That a lot of people forget about that system. It was very expensive back in the day, and it was before its time. Had really good graphics. Kind of beat it out some of the Genesis. Genesis is my all-time favorite. Always will be. But I mean, the TurboGrafx was a very unique, system. Still beloved today. They're making these ones now where they're minis, like the TurboGrafx Mini. I think they have.
Oh. Nice.
They were supposed to make a Dreamcast Mini or something like that. I don't know if they're going to still do it. But
Sega, I don't know. Sega seems to only care about Genesis nostalgia because they do nothing with Saturn or Dreamcast.
I know. And if you know what they could do, if you don't want to do a Mini, at least release some of those games on the Xbox.
Where's that
20th? Can do it.
Yeah, where's that 20th anniversary Dreamcast collection like Atari just did?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, and they can do it. I mean, if you look on there's a couple Genesis games on there right now, like the one Wings. I think it's called Wings of War. I have it physically, but they put it just appeared on the Xbox store, and it was a side-scrolling shoot 'em up, and it was on a Genesis. I actually have the cartridge, but it's actually on the Xbox store. It just popped up one day. I'm like, wow, holy shit, what's this doing on here? Like Joe and Mac, that's supposed to be coming out. That Rex game, a lot of those games, they were on Genesis. I think there's one called 10 Hit. I think I got a Metal Hit or something. It was on the Genesis. They just pop up on it. These other companies are redoing these games, and they're putting them on the Xbox ecosystem. I'm pretty sure PlayStation has them too, but they're trying to revamp some of these old school 16-bit games, and they just pop on the store. They don't announce it or anything. They just pop up. You know what I mean? So it would be nice if they could do, like you said, like if you're not going to release like some of these beloved games back then, they should license these games to go on. Look what they're doing with House of the Dead. House of the Dead did so good on the Xbox that they're making a House of the Dead 2. There's going to be a House of the Dead 2 coming out. It did very well. It looks just like the arcade. It's an awesome game. They did an awesome job on it. That's what I mean. Sega needs to do more. Start bringing these games to these systems. You make more money that way. Bring these games out. People are asking for these games. They just need to. I don't know if it's a licensing issue or whatever. But you know, they're sitting on so many good IP. It's ridiculous, man. Make a new Altered Beast, you know, or something like that, man. You guys remember some of those games back in the day? I'm pretty sure
they were classics. I want to see them do something with Saturn or Dreamcast, because for some reason, they had a Sega. I think there was like 50 games for the Sega Genesis collection they did on the Xbox One.
Yeah,
I think I have a copy of it.
Yeah, I have it. That's good. It's good.
So,
That's what I mean.
Yeah, so stuff like that is good, but now show the Saturn and the Dreamcast some love, man. I mean,
I know.
I mean,
Saturn,
you can't
man.
tell me you wouldn't kill for at least just to jump into Power Stone, for example,
Hell
for like
yeah.
30 minutes, right?
Yeah, they need to bring that back out, like Power Stone. What other one that it was? What's it called? It was called. I think it was called Die Hard Trilogy. That was on there. It was a good beat 'em up that was on there.
Power Stone is actually Capcom, though, right?
Yeah, what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you're
Power
right.
Stone
Yeah,
too.
it was. It did really good on the Dreamcast. Dreamcast was like the, you know, back in the day, guys. Dreamcast was like and Saturn. They were like the mecca of fighting games. Like the PlayStation 1, you know, the fighting games on there, they were okay, but you know, the sound was muffled. It just didn't do as good. It didn't do better 2D fighting games. The best back then was Saturn. Saturn did the best 2D fighting games. They did a good 3D kind of, you know, fighting games, but Saturn was always known definitely for their 2D you know, fighting games like the Street Fighters, you know, games like that. What's it called? Darkstalkers, different things like that. Did really good on our X-Men Children of the Atom.
Yeah, that was
You know,
fantastic.
those were really good games on there, man. It did the best on the Saturn. Saturn actually beat them actually at 2D fighting games. When it came to 3D, a lot of people chose Tekken, you know, over what we had, which was Virtual Fighter. I always checked that. I always liked Virtual Fighter, but a lot of people back then were really huge into Tekken. Tekken was big for PlayStation.
Yeah. I remember when Tekken was big. Because my brother had the PlayStation 1, so I didn't play it as much as he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember Tekken was a big.
E-Rock had a PlayStation 1.
Yeah, that's right. He did. He still got some PlayStation games too. That's what's crazy.
Yeah,
Had to save them for posterity.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He doing better with backwards compatibility than in Sony.
Ain't that the truth, man? Ain't that the truth, bro? That's the truth. But I heard they're trying to make I think they're trying to make a slimmer PS5.
Hey, they do.
That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is, but they said they're supposed to slim it down. It's going to look the same, I heard, though, but it's going to be really slimmed down. It's going to really look like a modem.
They shouldn't even touch that, man. They should just let sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah, I know. I think it'd be a mistake if they did that, man. Just
show how bad their engineering is.
The damage is already done. I mean, nobody's gonna go out and buy that, dude.
Speaking of PS5, so yesterday I bought a game for it from Black Friday that I was on sale. I put in my PS5 and that thing it sounded like it was, I don't know what the hell is going on. It was making this weird ass noise. I had to make a video too.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious, man. That noise. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Meanwhile, you install a game in the Xbox. That thing is quiet. It doesn't. If that didn't have a light that showed it was on, you wouldn't even know that console was on half the time, man. That's how quiet that thing is.
Yeah, the Series X and S are, yeah.
Yeah, and then somebody tried to comment on my PlayStation 5 video, don't let these fanboys tell you what to do, just change the fan. I'm like, why the fuck will I go on my PlayStation and change the fan? It should already work.
Yeah, why should you have to do that? Why should you have to take the fucking thing apart? You're not supposed to do that. You shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, it should just work on its own. And the thing is, and here's the thing, I don't even play my PlayStation like that. But here's the thing, it's not okay. Yeah, I don't play it as much. I still clean it, so it's not like it's full of dust and roaches or some shit. I still clean my PlayStation, so it should be working perfectly. Since it doesn't get nearly the use the Xbox does, but yeah, it was making that noise. I was concerned. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, man.
I was like, you remember those videos, man? They be showing like with the Xbox, they got to do the video like how noisy it is. They get right up on it.
Yeah.
But they see it from across the room.
That's the thing. On my video, I was only close enough to show the PlayStation 5 on the video to show I'm not lying. But you could still hear that bitch humming a tune and shit, man.
What is that? The garage door opener? Somebody? What's that?
Yeah, man. I mean, the PlayStation 4, they said it used to, I had a friend that had one. It actually literally, even to have a 3, when I used to try the 3 out, it sounded like it really did sound like a fucking plane engine. The 3, even the PlayStation 3, I'm like, damn, this thing is louder than our home PC. You know how it has the fans on it and you can hear it sometimes on your PC? It's louder than that. It's louder than the tower. It's like, I mean, it's like it was going to take off. That's how loud that was. The fans on that thing, man. That was ridiculously loud.
Sony engineers suck, man. I mean, but like you pointed out 2 years ago, though, Sega, man, when they showed a breakdown of that thing, that PlayStation 5, you knew it was going to be a mess. Well, they're just shoving any components they can in there and just hope that it wouldn't explode or something.
Dude, that was like perfect karma to me, man. Because they've been talking trash about Xbox and the size of Xbox, how it looks, a big VCR. And when that thing was unveiled, I thought they was joking.
And yet no media members called it a VCR or nothing.
Nope.
Funny how that works.
Yeah,
that thing's bigger than that first Xbox One. That thing is huge.
What the the PlayStation 5 is bigger than that.
Bigger than the first Xbox One model.
Yeah, so and you don't never hear nothing about that at all. And
then it's so impractical because it comes with a stand, but even that doesn't feel secure. Because I got mine sitting horizontal under the TV stand, right?
Yeah.
And even that doesn't feel secure. If you push it, it feels like it's gonna fall off. And I did it correctly too. So I don't want anybody saying, "Oh, but you didn't." No. I set it up correctly. I know how to work stuff. All right.
Oh, so they were trying to say you didn't put it in right.
Yeah. Even though it's obvious that, I mean, it's not hard to put together, but it's unnecessary. Meanwhile, the Xbox just is. You could put it sideways or standing. It just works. That's how tech should be. Tech should just work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and when you notice something, guys, when you're watching TV on those commercials for Black Friday and Christmas, what are they showing? They're showing Series S's. Them motherfuckers are going to sell like hotcakes, bro. I seen what's it called? Target. They had made a commercial with the Series S, man. A couple other ones. The Series S is I think it's going to really sell big time this holiday season. We'll see when the things come out. I guarantee you that's gonna probably blow everything else out of the water, man, because that's all I see everywhere. Series S everywhere.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the excuses when it's the best-selling console this Black Friday.
Yeah,
I want to see what excuses they come up with this year.
Yeah, man. There ain't gonna be none unlimited watch. You can't.
No, you underestimate the Sony fans.
I know.
I'm waiting to hear, honestly, guys. I know we got to go. I'm waiting to hear what they have to say on that, because you can't negate what they're doing. If they're outselling, what are you going to really say? You know what I mean? Some off the wall, wild, crazy bullshit. Oh, so Phil Spencer and Microsoft paid Target off to sell them some dumb shit like that. That's exactly what they're going to say, right, brothers? I mean,
Well, they paid the Brazilian government. They played Saudi Arabia.
No, dude, it's funny, right? Because you could just throw back in their face. That's why I like being on Twitter. But you throw back in their face, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, no, they can't do that, man. They're too busy with AKB." Man,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, Kima, Legendary Axe. That's I have it. That's a good game on TurboGrafx 16. That's a
Bonk's Adventure is my favorite.
Yeah, Bonk's Adventures is a good game. Those games are also expensive, guys. I own a Saturn. I'm gonna tell you what. I've looked up some of my Saturn games. Some of them are $150 a piece.
Yeah, that's why I never bought one after I lost my first one, man.
Man, they are expensive. Look, you can get the system cheaper than the fucking games, bro.
Yeah, the irony of that is that the Saturn didn't even sell well at the time, so I don't even know why they're so damn expensive.
Man, they're expensive.
So for the Saturn, like, because I just moved back to Hawaii. When did I move back to Hawaii? Well, I was back in Hawaii, and so I don't know if it's our proximity close to Japan, or California, right? But what happened was a lot of those games on the Saturn didn't make it to the East Coast.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know that is because I picked up some games at our local Toys R Us. I love the Saturn. And I bought House of the Dead, and I bought a second one, Sega Man, because I was more of a collector back then, because I wanted one to play and one to keep. And then my friend had just started doing eBay, and he's asking me if I had stuff to sell. Man, I sold my House of the Dead, my extra copy,
Yeah.
because he was trying to build up his reputation. So I sold it on there. This lady from New York paid, I want to say $400 for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You serious?
No, yeah.
God damn.
It's like one of his, at that time, that was one of his biggest sales.
God
He
damn.
like triple wrapped the thing, make sure it was, she sent it to her like priority mail.
Yeah. Wow,
So
that's
that
a
and,
nice sell.
Well, Burning Rangers, right? Shining Force.
Burning
2.
Rangers, yeah, that's that one in Panzer Saga.
Dragon Saga.
That's the coup de grace. That's over
Yeah.
$2,000.
So I had all extra copies of those. I sold it all on his, because he came back to me. He's like, "Can we sell this on eBay?" So I sold them all, dude. Easily over 100 each one.
You know, he
For that time,
had
it's
that.
good
He
money.
regrets selling it. He had that Panzer Saga. That thing's like $2,000 something. He regrets selling what he sold it for. If he would have had it today, he could have had like probably 2 G's, maybe even more.
Yeah, because it came with
You can buy
multiple.
it. It's a new
It came with
car.
the multiple discs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, gamers nowadays don't know about that.
No, yeah.
What was that? What was that Sega Forever?
It came with like 4 or 5 discs, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's
I
awesome.
think it's an RPG.
Yeah.
The 360 was the end of that. The multiple
Yeah.
disc.
Yeah, you know what? No, you're right. The 360, believe it or not, Doompachi and like these certain type of shooters on there, those are actually up in price. They're over $100. Some of those shoot 'em ups that came up on the 360 that were physical copies, I tried looking for some of them, and they're over $100, and they're hard to find. Like Doompachi, there was another one, I can't remember the name of it. They were hell bullet shooters, and they're like $150. You know, something like that. I can't find those anywhere.
Is Radiant Silvergun still tracking?
Ooh, that's expensive on Saturn.
How much did I have that? How much was it? I had both, dude.
I seen one for I think it was 500. I have it digitally on the 360. It's
But I
back.
think was it only Japanese? I had the Japanese version, Radiant Silvergun, because I modded my Saturn, bro. I modded my Saturn.
Oh yeah. You know what? At one time, believe it or not, guys, if you might have missed it, say Xbox had that back compat for free.
What did it?
Radiant Silvergun. It was free at one month. It was free. It just popped in the store for free. You can just get it for free. And that was one of the most expensive games ever made for the Saturn. It was on there for free. Some people got it, some people missed it, but they had it on there where you can get it for free. I don't know why they just made it free 1 month. It wasn't part of games with gold either. It just was on the store for free. And it wasn't like a glitch or anything. People like got that quick because it's expensive as fuck. That's the only way you could play it is if you buy it on the 360 and it was cheaper. You know, if you want to play on a Saturn, man, you're going to spend at least $400 or $500 for that game. It could be even more. You know,
That's one of the reasons why I modded my Saturn so I could play. Like I played the Marvel vs. Capcom. I had the 4 megabit upgrade. Yeah, so to play like the speed of it was so good.
Yeah, those are expensive, brother. Expensive.
Yeah, I wish I still had my stuff. Put so much money into it, right?
Look at Unlimited. Unlimited, man. He has, man, Unlimited. You know, the earlier videos. If you watch some of Unlimited's earlier videos, this is before the podcast and all this. When he was showing, I used to watch him early videos. He has a lot of OG Xbox games, 360 and stuff. Unlimited he's a good Xbox collector. He has a lot of Xbox.
Yeah.
He got some good stuff, brother. He got some good stuff, man. He does.
Yeah. When I got back into gaming, I decided to stick with Xbox only since my thing is this. Yeah. After the 360 era, I felt like I wasted money on the PS3 and the Wii since I never played either. And so I stopped being a multi-platform gamer. The only reason why I have a PS5 is because my brother literally gave it to me, right?
Yeah,
that's the only reason why I have that console, because I wasn't going to buy it, you know, because to me it just makes more financial sense to pay $500 once for the Series X, since 95% of games are on both consoles anyway. You know what I'm saying? And the PlayStation exclusives aren't interesting enough to pay $500 to pay 3 games a year. That just seems like a terrible investment to me, right?
Yeah.
When on Xbox I got hundreds and hundreds of games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Add back compatibility, that's hundreds more that I could just put in my Xbox anytime or start digitally, however I own it. So that's why I went just one console last generation. I see no need personally to pay $500 for a Series X, $500 for a PS5, $300 for a Switch, and then only play that Series X. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why their narrative is such BS, right? They AAA. We know, and we know that, right? The AAA banger crap, dude. And just like,
Yeah.
there's more to gaming than just AAA titles.
Oh yeah.
Look, man, let's be real. On all consoles, you get a hand at most, 4, 5, maybe 6 on a good year exclusives, like AAA exclusives, right? A year like last year where Xbox just had like 5 games back to back to back is super rare. Look at Sony; they only had like 3 big games, and they all flopped, right? And so that AAA narrative, man, that's just something they made up because they were pushing the Xbox has no games thing.
That's why I think you guys were talking about the Game Awards. I wanted to talk that not now, but
Next
something
time.
I want to throw out real quick, man. I hope Stray wins. I hope Stray wins the Game of the Year, so I could just go on Twitter just talk about it. Dude. In fact, I was like, I'm cheering for Stray to win it. Because when Stray was when they got that, you remember Sega Man when they got Stray was announced, right? And then these guys were losing their mind over it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's ridiculous, man, too. And you know what? If God of War, if I'm just being serious, if God of War does win this, man, that's just completely. I don't watch the awards. I feel that, like I said, I feel like Plague's Tale Requiem should win Game of the Year, which I know it's not going to. If God of War wins, man, it's a wrap, man. Seriously. I mean, a lot of people are already talking about, even PlayStation people are talking that they're saying that's bullshit too. There's some that are actually saying it's bullshit if that wins Game of the Year. You know,
that's why I love the Elden. What is it?
Elden Ring. I
love Elden Ring, right? Because you got their fans. They're ready to pounce, man. They're just waiting. Just like if Elden Ring don't win, I'm happy, man. I'm be like, dude, either way I win. Because we're Xbox guys, dude. We know what time it is with Jeff Keighley. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that dude, he knows that deep down. His name was Jeff Keighley, right?
Yeah, Jeff Keighley.
Well, he knows that Unlimited. He knows that deep down that what he's doing is fucking wrong. He knows that, man. He does. He knows that.
Look, man, listen, we're talking about Jeff Keighley here. We're talking about the guy who spoiled the Xbox One X price before the 2017 E3. Yeah. Or in 2020, he had people on the Xbox show. He had people who were, I've never played Halo before. I don't know anything about Halo on an Xbox show. Yeah. So he knows we know what we're dealing with this guy.
And that, was a good comeback to that, fellas, is when he had that show and Phil got his ass back with the Series X. He didn't even know that was coming, dude. His mouth dropped to the fucking floor. He didn't even know that was coming, man. Phil got his ass back really good by announcing the Series X on there, man. He got his ass back good.
There's a reaction video on YouTube that shows like the real reaction, man, and the people in there was going nuts. They're screaming.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Phil knew he knows he's. I know he has to play nice, but he knows what the fuck's up. Phil knows what's going on.
Yeah, like for me with the Stray thing, man, it's not that it's nominated, right? I feel there's better games. Independent games that should have been nominated. Whatever.
Look at how they ridiculed the game, the new game that Unlimited likes. They ridiculed that.
Gotham Knights.
It's only 30 frames per second. And so the fuck what? It's a good fucking game, bro. It's a good game.
And meanwhile, you look at these guys' playlists; they all on Power Washer.
Yeah, talking about this game. This game, it's a good fucking game, and they want to ridicule the game. Oh, it's only 30 frames per second. Supposed to be this. Supposed to be that. It's a good ass game. It's better than fucking God of War.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm playing it too, because Sega Forever, hooked him up with it, and I'm hearing from everybody else that it's a really good game. It's a game that doesn't hold your hand though either.
Well, it's nice to see people coming on and saying it, right? It's like at first you'd be little rumblings. Like I know both of you guys don't care. I'm like you guys. I'll say whatever I want to say, but there's not other people that ain't like us, right? So it's nice to see like little rumblings. Now people are starting to stand up for themselves, right? Because they do like the game, but they was a little afraid to say so. Now it's starting to get bigger and build more momentum. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, E-Rock, man, what are your thoughts on Gotham Knights?
Yeah, sorry, E-Rock. What were you saying?
I think it's fantastic. I've been enjoying it. It's really well put together. Right now, I finally had my first contact with this group called the Court of Owls.
Right. Yeah.
Really interesting, man. I've never seen them in a video game before or faced them. I've usually in the past faced either Mr. Freeze or the Joker or other characters, and that kind of played itself out. So to have a new antagonist to go up against, And I like the fact that you can switch between characters, and each
Yep.
one of them have their own abilities.
Yep.
Little bummed that apparently Batman is dead and it's real. But I mean, it's time for somebody else to get some shine, and I'm looking forward to playing as Tim Drake and Dick Grayson. But right now I'm getting on Red Hood and Barbara Gordon. And Barbara Gordon's story is interesting, man, because she's still getting over the fact that Commissioner Gordon is gone as well. So it's a whole new Gotham, man. It's a whole new Gotham.
It's good.
It's a whole new story. It's a really good game. The combat is fluid. It's intuitive. There's a bit of detective work involved in some of the missions. Like it took forever to break down the whole shit with Oswald Cobblepot, also known as the Penguin. But once you do that and interrogate those gangs and those freakers, the game starts moving. So I think it's impressive, man.
Yeah.
I think, as we've always said, the video game media, these reviewers are full of shit. They had it out for this game the second it was announced.
Yep.
And nothing they said was warranted. It was all bullshit. This game was fantastic. And this is the first real dedicated DC game since Injustice 2.
Yeah.
So, and I think WB Montreal's done a fantastic job, man. I'm enjoying it.
Dude,
Yes.
that switch made my head spin because people was hyped. So like from the trailer,
Mm-hmm.
and then as soon as the game was about to, as we're getting close to announce it was like I don't know what it was, dude. It was that switch. And look, dude, I don't care what side of the aisle you on, if you're Marvel or DC, we can all equally agree that these normies are killing us.
Yes, badly.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm not the biggest DC fan, dude, but I know the Court of Owls, right? Storyline and stuff like that. It's awesome. So then when you have these people, it's like Court of Owls, who's that? And I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be a DC dude, and you don't even know. I'm a Marvel guy, and I know who these guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
and see, here's the thing, man, and this is why that the reaction to Gotham Knights broke me a couple months ago was because it was like a crescendo to everything I've said for the last couple of years about I noticed how much these reviewers, YouTubers, and gamers, so-called gamers, hate gaming. And then when Gotham Knights got this extreme hate, I can't remember the last time
Unwarranted.
a game got this. Yeah, this level of unwarranted hate where they pretend it's the worst thing ever, and then what made me proud was that the people who I saw actually playing the game all had the same reaction to E-Rock, like, wait, what the fuck was going on? It wasn't adding up that they were enjoying it, but they just heard it's not like they heard, oh, the game isn't that good. No, they heard this game is trash, it's 30 frames per second, it's unplayable. Shit that sounds like it's gonna be one of the worst experiences ever. They're playing it, it's a great game, and then something kind of clicked with a lot of the Gotham Knights fans of I can't support the IGNs of the world anymore. Who's gonna sit there, E-Rock, and just lie to my face? You know what I'm saying? They just lie to my face. And while me, E-Rock, Sega Forever, and Sega Man, while we know why the reason is, a threat to other certain types of exclusive superhero games. The general audiences didn't. They're super confused. A lot of people who play Gotham Knights and liked it, E-Rock, they were so confused. It just wasn't registering how they could play. They're like that level of disconnect. I haven't seen that big of a disconnect in gaming in a long time.
Yeah.
And you know what I liked, guys? I liked the you guys might have liked them, but I liked the Telltale's Batman games. I liked those games. I played them. I really got into the Batman Telltale games. Some people didn't like them, but I kind of liked them. You know what I mean? I thought it was cool, the story of Bruce Wayne and different things like was his Two-Face and other characters that were in the Telltale's games. I thought they were pretty good. I got them on sale one time, and I actually got into them. I thought they were pretty decent. And of course, Injustice 2. That's a really good fighting game.
That's a classic.
Yeah, it's so good. I have it physically. I have the steelbook actually.
Yeah, same
nice.
here.
That's a fantastic fighting game, bro. They did a fantastic job on that. You know what I mean? So
And my
hopefully
daughter
they'll
has
come out with something else.
my
Yeah,
daughter has the comic books.
Oh yeah, those were good comics too. The
So
comics
she
were
got
really
into the
good.
comics, and she got in that, and then was it Batman and Robin, the young stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't put my
wish
hang-ups on my
Marvel.
kids, man. I don't put my hang-ups on my kids.
Yeah,
If she wants to read good comic book stuff, I'll let her read it.
Yeah, I wish Marvel just made a fight. No Marvel versus Comcap shit, and no offense to Capcom, but I wish Marvel had a fighting game that was as detailed as Injustice 2, where it's just the Marvel characters. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, that would be
no
that would
other
be nice.
universes.
That would be nice.
You
Unlimited.
can't do it,
That
bro.
would be
You can't
nice.
do it. Do you see
What?
Midnight Suns coming up?
Yeah, that doesn't look too good to me. And this, it's because if it wasn't turn based, I'd be hyping it up. But the turn based kind of lost me personally.
No, that's not the Midnight Suns.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who wait?
How the hell did Iron Man get in there? So,
Yeah,
no.
that's a good point. Yeah, because Midnight Suns. Yeah, Midnight Suns. They're more like the darker ones of Marvel, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's like Ghost Rider.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah,
Blade,
yeah.
and all them, right?
Blade, yeah.
Yeah.
But
you know they threw Iron Man in because he's the popular MCU character.
Oh, but they threw an Iron Man, Wolverine. Isn't like Captain America in there or Thor? What? I'm like, dude,
Isn't he? Iron Man is. He's dead, isn't he?
Yeah,
in
but
the
the rumblings
movies.
are. This is why Iraq. Don't worry, man. They can always bring back.
I like War Machine.
Hey, this is Disney. This Disney you're talking
This is
about.
Disney.
They don't respect nothing. They're gonna bring. Listen, there's gonna be a Marvel movie that's gonna flop so hard they're gonna throw money at RDJ and he's gonna be back. All right, what happened? How did you come back from the end of Endgame? Well, then he's gonna make a stupid joke. Well, nobody dies forever type shit, and then the movie's just gonna continue on like nothing happened.
What would you say? What would you guys say was the good last Marvel movie? What was the very last good movie that Marvel made? In your guys' opinion, what was the last good one you thought they made?
You want my objective opinion?
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I know everybody's going, what about Endgame? Listen, man, my boy, who's a famous artist here in Philadelphia, took me out to see Infinity War and Endgame. Because I wasn't paying. Because I was over Marvel after Age of Ultron. I was over it after that shit. I was over it after the robot put this Russian city on rockets and gave the heroes time to evacuate the people. I was done after that shit. I was like, this fuck this shit. If you're not going to respect my intelligence, I'm not paying no more to go see your shit.
Well. To be fair, if people died, they would have blamed a hero, like they blamed Superman for Zod killing people.
Yeah, like and that whole thing with the Avengers evacuating that Russian city before Ultron attacked it was a knee-jerk reaction to Man of Steel, because Man of Steel got realistic and motherfuckers actually died because these gods was having a fight in Metropolis. But I think Guardians of the Galaxy and Captain America, the Winter Soldier, was Marvel's last time trying.
It was good.
It was their last time really trying, like really like pushing the envelope and saying we're going to make a good movie. I saw Avengers Infinity War, and it just didn't. I don't know. It just didn't connect with me. What took me out of it was Thor. They pick up Thor from wherever. The Guardians of the Galaxy pick up Thor, right? Mm-hmm. And this dude just lost his entire people. Asgard is gone. Like everybody is. Asgard is gone. Yeah. And he's sitting here trying to see who is more wittier, him or motherfucker Peter Quill. And I'm like shit like that just takes me out of it. Like, shouldn't you be angry? Shouldn't you be mourning the death of your people? Then we get to Endgame, and Thanos has snapped half the world away, and Captain America is sitting in there with these bunch of people and having a focus group. Well, I'm depressed. Half the world is gone. I'm like, what is this fucking shit? What is this shit I'm fucking watching? And Thor, who wasn't angry in the last movie, now he beheads Thanos easily when the Hulk had a problem with this motherfucker in the previous movie. What the fuck else? Captain America, who in the brilliant Joe Johnston movie Captain America: The First Avenger and the Russo brothers Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Captain America is the guy who falls on the hand grenade. Captain America is the guy who makes the sacrifice. So this motherfucker uses time travel to go back and erase Peggy Carter's family so that he can be a Peggy Carter and have happiness. Also, this is America's ass. None of it made any fucking sense.
Dude, E-Rock, man. The level.
I'm
the
sorry,
number
Sega
of-
Forever.
no, the number of Marvel guys I pissed off, right? when I said I'm glad he died, right? Because he was on that road, dude, right? Like you said, dude, like the first Avenger, like there's a gradual progression of the character, right? Being introduced, put the Man Out of Time storyline from the comics, right? I
Mhm.
understand all that stuff, but you can see little by little, right? They were starting to change him, right? like
Yeah.
so when they got rid of his character, I was like, oh, thank God, man. Because if he would have had another movie, that dude would have been all. They would have just jacked that character up even more. Because, like you said, that's a lot of people like myself had a problem with that. What is it? Infinity War? Right? No, Endgame. Was because Captain America wouldn't do that, dude. Captain America is not that guy.
It goes against everything that he's ever stood for. He's the guy that fucking flew the plane into the ice water so that the
Yep.
fucking bombs wouldn't reach New York. He's the
Yeah.
fucking last of the. He's a fucking hero. He wouldn't give into selfish indulgences. That's not who he is.
Yep.
He's
That'd
just-
be like if at the end of Batman vs Superman, Superman's like, all right, Batman, you take the hit and stab Doomsday instead of doing it himself when he realized that's the world he's trying to save.
Man,
Oh
that
my
was-
God,
was,
narrative cohesion. A movie that has that, yes, that movie. Those movies had something called narrative cohesion.
Yeah.
All right, where
That was a great scene, bro. When
Yeah.
remember when he goes to get the staff from
Lois, yeah.
and then that look in her face, I was like,
Yep.
ooh. Yeah, that was like I was in my chair going, ooh, that cut.
The Marvel movies, I'll say the first Marvel movies right up to the Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
they had narrative cohesion. And I know everybody likes to call it the Infinity Saga, but it really has been all over the place with connective tissue to all 20. There's been 26 of these goddamn films.
Yeah.
There's been connective tissue, but like the narrative cohesion kind of stopped at the Age of Ultron. Like Tony Stark is just back. Like, did this motherfucker quit in Iron Man 3? nigga, why are you back? Like, it was like they just said, the hell with what we were trying. Like, once Kevin Feige really took over, because he was always there, Kevin Feige. He was there back when Marvel was having those movies that weren't hits.
Yeah.
But once he took over and once they realized this shit was a cash cow, it kind of went. And you got some Marvel fans that'll sit here and tell you that all 24 of them movies are bangers, like my boy David Kapoloff on Instagram. And I'm like, oh, dude, it's about 7 of them that are great.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of them, like I saw Thor, The Dark World. I don't even remember watching that shit. I saw Ant-Man. I don't even remember watching that shit. What else did I see? It comes a time I just check out. I'm hard on DC as well, but DC tends to take their shit a little bit more fucking seriously. Like the biggest miss that they had was putting Joss Whedon in charge of Justice League. His type of filmmaking does not work for DC Comics at all.
That's the first time, dude. That's the first time I saw DC do that. Usually it's Marvel copying DC.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Feige, like that, like you said earlier, man. They beat Marvel to the punch with Aquaman, right? And also with Wonder Woman. That's why you got Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's the first time when they hired Joss Whedon to Justice League. I was like, oh man.
Here's what happened to Marvel after the first Avengers. Marvel, and nobody else has noticed this. I've mentioned it a few times. Unlimited production. Marvel started getting into a rut where every movie they made, except for the Russo brothers movies, every movie they made was a Joss Whedon movie.
Yep.
And they haven't even realized it.
Even the Russo movies ended up taking them damn Joss Whedon traits in those last 2 days.
His traits are comedy. His traits are a little bit of slapstick. That man is playing Gallagher. And sometimes it works. But after a while, it's like, dude, it's okay to take the fact that the Asgardians are dead seriously. Like when Peter Quill, when Peter Quill faces his dad Ego in the climax of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and this motherfucker turns into fucking David Hasselhoff. And no, I'm not joking. This actually happened.
He's right.
Are you
He's right.
serious?
That's when I checked out. That's when I checked out.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, for another stupid joke during an intense moment that kills all tension.
Wow.
That's what they lost me. They lost me with Avengers 2 as well. That movie, because I remember seeing that movie and I was like, wow, this is stupid. That was my reaction. Okay, this is a little too stupid for me.
We were hyped for it because it was Ultron and he was badass in Secret Wars.
Yeah, and that trailer was dope and everything. and then once again everything revolved around Iron Man, which is fine. He's the main star of that universe, cool. And then they made Ultron act like Iron Man, which then they made everybody act like Iron Man with the stupid jokes and the quips and all that shit. And then it's like, okay, I'm out. I can't do this where everybody like they even made Hulk a punk. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. They even made Hulk a punk in these movies, right? And it's like at some point, it's like, guys, these guys have different personalities for a reason. Let them shine. I don't need Thor to throw a ball and hit his head and everybody like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah,
You know,
say Sega Man.
you know what they're trying to do with the Hulk and the Thor, which I kind of excused a little bit, is the power levels, right? Where they're throwing the story off. But that
I can't excuse Hulk being a punk after getting beat once, literally once in all 29 films, however much there are, get beats once and he's too scared to come
unlimited.
back. No, I'm out.
Unlimited. Yeah, unlimited. You know what? One of the few things that was great about the because the Avengers was a surprise. The thing that was great about the Avengers was the Hulk, Sega Man. He was so powerful and so angry. He was like this fucking this X Factor. He was like this this rogue combatant that you brought in when shit hit the fan. So if this dude Loki or these aliens, the Chitauri, the weakest alien invasion ever captured on film, by the way, if motherfuckers wanted to act up, that's when you brought in the Hulk. Because couldn't nobody beat the Hulk. Because the Hulk is the strongest one there is. The madder the Hulk is, the stronger he gets. And somehow they managed to clip this dude's balls. They managed to make him weak. And I'm like, what did y'all do to the Hulk? The baddest Thor moment was a Thor, what is it?
Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. When his hair is cut, they started playing fucking Led Zeppelin and shit. That's a Thor moment. That's a Thor moment right there. Then they go. Then in the next fucking Avengers movie, this motherfucker that gained 90 pounds. He's telling jokes. I'm like, you know what, man? If you're not going to take me seriously, I'm not going to take you seriously. And that's the only thing. Oh, well, you guys are DC. DC's so edgelord. Listen, man. Let them do. I appreciate that. Like who the fuck thought that this dude Todd Phillips was going to make a movie about a fucking incel work, but Joker worked because it was unapologetic. It pulled no fucking punches. Who the fuck figured that the nigga from Twilight was going to be a good Batman?
Yeah.
But this dude Matt Reeves, he made it work because this dude Robert Pattinson doesn't crack a smile for 2 hours. Because he's Batman. He's a younger Batman. These guys, they get the material. I'm not knocking Marvel. I'm just saying you can stop making Josh Whedon movies now. Even the new Spider-Man, they're making Josh Whedon movies. Yep. Sam Raimi in his 3 Spider-Man movies, he understood that Peter Parker is supposed to be stoic. He's driven by the fact that Ben Parker got killed, and it's most likely his fault that Ben Parker got killed. Right. And with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, I never liked the fact that now Peter Parker's male role model is fucking Tony Stark. It just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, agreed. And here's the thing: Spider-Man has always been more of one of the characters that told jokes. But it's been established in the comics he did that to distract his enemies, not to make these corny jokes.
Yes.
That like the '90s cartoon was more mature than these Marvel Spider-Man movies. You know what I'm saying? The shit that I grew up in like 1994, that Spider-Man was more mature than this little kid they have now, man. And here's another thing. Please stop putting Peter Parker in high school. All right, the guy hasn't been in high school since 1965. All right, can we please stop this? Can we please just have him as an adult for once, dealing with adult problems like he's always done?
Need to stop doing that. That gets annoying. That gets really very annoying. You remember the Spider-Man we grew up with, E-Rock, the old cartoon Spider-Man.
Man, you going back on these youngsters here, man. The 60s cartoon. Yeah, man, the old cartoon with the song, the legendary theme song. I remember.
You remember when he got married, dude? They actually had that at Yankee Stadium, right? Was it Yankee Stadium? They actually did a ceremony. I remember.
Oh, yeah.
All over the news. He got married to Mary Jane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys, I don't know if Unlimited remember this, but you, Sega Forever, and Unlimited might, and E-Rock, remember there was actually a real a news report where it had a guy that was dressed as Spider-Man. He was actually climbing up a building. Did you ever see that?
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
It was
I
on the
do remember
news. He
that,
was in a
actually.
Spider-Man costume and everything. I think he got in trouble, but
Yeah. They had to shut.
Yeah, but-
they had to shut that part of the city down to get him down.
yeah, that
and,
was
and
crazy.
it costed the city money because
Yeah.
some of
That's
the
what
law
they told me,
enforcement. Yeah, they had to pull some law enforcement off the streets to get his ass down.
Wow.
Yeah, he was climbing. He was E-Rock. He was climbing a skyscraper, dude. It was crazy, man.
That's crazy. So
Look,
Sega Forever,
Yeah.
unbeknownst to you, whether you see it or not, Spider-Man No Way Home. Have you seen it yet?
No Way Home. I seen. Is that the one with all the Spider-Mans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not yet, because I'm waiting on my dog.
Oh wow, you haven't. Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you then. I
You can spoil
enjoyed it. Me personally, I enjoyed it because of the nostalgia. Because of course, Tobey Maguire, the fucking GOAT, is back. But I can't give you no spoilers. All I can do is say the Spider-Man No Way Home is kind of a soft reboot of that version of Spider-Man. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what they do with it from here on out. But that's all I can say about it.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite end of E-Rock. I saw it not too long ago, and I didn't like it. It had the same. To me, it was just another Marvel movie. The dumb jokes, the corny shit. Especially, for some reason, they made Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, that one, the real stupid one. He had the worst jokes, in my opinion. Especially that hug moment, E-Rock. That was like, okay, what is this dumb shit? You know what I'm saying? So,
You didn't mark out a little bit seeing all from Spider-Man on the screen.
yeah. It was nice to see Toby again. You know,
Yeah, it was like to say, I don't like to be.
that's where it began and ended with me. And it was nice to see Homeboy as Green Goblin. I give you that.
Oh yeah, the villains carry that fucking movie.
Yeah. So I'll give you that. But other than that, to me, it was just like, at the end of it, it's like, oh well, that was another Marvel movie. The dumb jokes, the shit that should be taken seriously but isn't. The fat kid, I don't even know why he's there. But
Oh yeah,
like they had a stupid ass joke with him too during an intense moment, right? And so that's what I saw personally, was just another Marvel movie, more manufactured garbage, but this time it had nostalgia bait. And for me personally, this is just me. I've always said I'm not the biggest nostalgia guy. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so you could bring Tobey Maguire back a million times. The first time is cool. After that, tell an interesting story. And that's kind of how I felt.
you can only get away with that once. I was arguing
Yeah.
with this Star Trek dude about Captain Kirk again, and this dude was like, "Well, why haven't they brought William Shatner back?" I'm like, "Because he got killed in fucking Star Trek Generations.
Yep.
It don't make any sense to bring Captain Kirk
you don't
back.
bring him
You,
back.
you can only pull the nostalgia card once.
Yeah.
Okay,
Achievements,
can
that
only pull
moment, man. That was a great moment. And
yeah, there was. You can only pull that shit once. You can't pull bringing Spider-Man from the other universes back again, because it's not going to work. Just like with DC, when they bring the original Batman back, Michael
Yeah,
Keaton, you can
Michael
only pull
Keaton,
that
yeah.
trick once. It's not going to work a second time.
Man,
I
that
don't
was
know, man. You guys got Infinite Crisis, so
That's
But
everything with Batman.
oh, go
if
ahead.
they
go
make if they make that into a movie, that'd be dope. But anything's up for grabs now. Now that James Gunn is in charge of DC, but
Yeah.
that's a revolving door anyway. Shit, Sega Man will be in charge of that shit next month.
ahead.
It's just
That's
a
the great thing
revolving door.
about the great thing about like what having James Gunn and that DC can do that. Marvel is different because Marvel actually that's you know what it is, dude. I'll compare it to like COD and Battlefield, right? When you play COD, COD is like the arcade shooter. When you play Battlefield, that's supposed to be like the more sim, right? That's the difference. That's kind of like with DC and Marvel, right? Marvel has like a canonical thing which they've pissed away in the comic books. I mean, for the last 20 years, but that's kind of what people were expecting from Marvel. And so, like you were just saying about the movies, I approach all the Marvel movies because when all of this stuff started, man, I realized that I'm old. I realized that I'm jaded, right? I realize a lot of times that this stuff is not made for me, so I kind of take what I can get.
Mhm.
These movies, but I equate it to this, right? When I go to the Marvel movies, right, it's just like being a Steeler fan. Some years you have great years,
Yeah,
other years you don't, right? So
I got you. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
the days, so the years that you don't have, you kind of focus on the linebacking core, right? Where you look at how good your defensive back is, or maybe that your quarterback will be signed for like 4 more years because he's halfway decent.
And that's why me and Unlimited Production, I'm gonna try to speak for him. That's why guys like us hardcore DC guys, we like what Zack Snyder was doing with DC, because we was like, yo, Ben Affleck just killed these niggas. Yo, that's what's up. We with that because you know in that warehouse fight scene, none of them dudes survive.
No.
Like
Which was always. Listen, man, I've watched Batman all my life, and even as a kid, I was like, "How these people are clearly dead?" But Batman doesn't kill. All right, shoot electricity Listen, in the Batman Arkham games, you could literally shoot them with electricity pellets. Right? They ain't dead after taking 10,000 volts of electricity.
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on.
Oh, Batman doesn't kill. Meanwhile, in the Tim Burton Batman movies, Michael Keaton just dropped bombs at the fucking chemical plant gleefully. It gave zero fucks as he drove away while everybody died. Me personally, why would Batman, after 20 years of fighting crime in Gotham, give a fuck about these criminals anymore?
Exactly.
Why would he?
And that was the story they told too. That's the funny part.
Yeah.
That was the story they told. He's been doing it for so long. He's just listen. He'll be like anybody. If every single day of your life some bullshit happens, eventually you either gonna adjust or get tired of that shit. Like, oh, here we go again with this bullshit. Like somebody working at the same job for 20 years. Somebody. And we all had that coworker who was there for 20 years, and they just there and gone. That's it. They don't be at Christmas parties. They don't be socializing. They just clock in, clock out. Because they done with your shit. That's all Batman was after 20 years in those movies.
You know how much he matters, dude? I remember back in the day, one of the biggest moments for me in comic books was when Dark Knight Returns released. And there was like this, oh man, because I'm more on the, especially back then, dude, I was definitely more on the Marvel side. Right? But I mean, the war that was going on with DC fans because of the way Frank Miller made made Batman and then the relationship with Superman and stuff like that. I remember Frank Miller was interviewed about that, and he talked about how like some of the bigger names that worked on Batman. I think Gil Kane even called him. It was like one of these big names. No, it was one of the big DC guys who worked on Batman called him up, man. I was just pissed off at him.
Frank Miller had to step his game up because a year earlier, Alan Moore and another guy came out with Watchmen. So they laid the gauntlet down. So like he couldn't go back to Batman as it was.
Yep, that was the era of guys like Frank Moore and Grant Morrison killing it with the DC titles, and then here comes Frank Miller reinventing Batman. That Batman is the one that we pretty much been seeing since, and pretty much everywhere else.
Suicide Squad, Teen Titans, the Wonder Woman run. I was actually watching DC, reading DC comics.
Now, what Sega Forever don't know, and I try to explain to a lot of these Marvel fans, you're just DC fanboy. I'm like, dude, Spider-Man is not new. Me and Sega Man grew up with Spider-Man. Yeah. I had every issue of Secret Wars back in 1984. Yeah. Like back in the day, we grew up with Luke Cage, who was Power Fist, Iron Fist. We grew up with Shang-Chi was this dude. He was the master of Kung Fu. He was this cool-looking Asian dude modeled after Bruce Lee. I don't know what happened with this last movie. Doctor Strange was the master of the mystic arts, and he didn't fuck up his spells either. Like
his comic books would be banned when people would, because they had a lot of the arcane stuff on there, right? So what would happen at the libraries, right? Because parents didn't really pay attention. It just took one parent to complain, and then all the parents was down at the library boycotting.
We grew up like if you was a black kid in the 70s, like because the Super Friends was on TV, and like the DC didn't start getting hot comic book wise until Green Lantern and Green Arrow teamed up. But we was all Marvel dudes, man. We grew up with Marvel back in the 70s. Even Kiss had a damn Marvel comic book, the rock group Kiss. But the Hulk used to be drawn by this artist, I don't think he's alive anymore, named Sal Buscema. And every time you saw the Hulk, his mouth was open, it was spit flying out of his mouth, and he was just kicking people's asses. That was the Hulk I remember. He was a rogue combatant. He was wild.
Oh, he's still alive.
I think in the comic books the Hulk was so wild they had to send him into space or some shit. Like, I mean, we grew up with Marvel.
The original Hulk was gray.
Damn, this nigga went back to 1963.
The original Hulk was actually gray. It wasn't green.
That's right, Sega Man.
I remember when I was a kid, right? And so my very first favorite cartoon ever was the X-Men one from the 90s.
Yeah, that was
I thought I was a big X-Men fan. So one day my dad was like, "Hey, so who are the first X-Men?" I'm like, Wolverine, nope. Nightcrawler, nope. Like, who the fuck are the first ones? And he just listed them off. Jean
Angel, Jean
Grey,
Grey.
Angel, Jean Grey, or Marvel Girl, Beast, Iceman, and Cyclops. I'm like, oh wow, really? And my little kid ass was blown away. I thought he knew everything.
You know, they were gonna cancel that comic book because it was too. They were saying it was like too. You know, you had Fantastic Four already. So actually, they went into reprints, man. They went, I think, like from issue 63, X-Men, or the Uncanny X-Men, right? 63.
Yeah.
But when Chris Claremont then took it over and then he rebooted with Deadly Genesis, that's what kicked him off. That's the X-Men most people know now.
Yeah,
Wolverine,
yeah. When I was a kid, X-Men was the team of Marvel. Not even close. You know what I'm saying? It was like X-Men, Spider-Man, and everyone else. Avengers was. I got to be honest with you. In the '90s, Avengers wasn't shit. It was. I remember. I remember that their comics couldn't they couldn't continue. They were like cancel it, and then at one point they even had a lot of them classic Avengers dudes like Captain America made by a third party from guys like what's that popular artist from the '90s that nobody likes anymore, but he was super popular in the '90s, and they made those guys who made Image Comics. That's who it was. They even had them making.
Dude, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, but
the X-Men in the 80s and the 90s when I was a kid, my God, were they popular in terms of like Marvel themselves, and that's why sometimes even I kind of feel like, do I even like Marvel? Or do I just like the X-Men, right? Because that's kind of that's right. Yeah. He did that Captain America in the 90s and stuff like that, and and he was working at Image and they outsourced it to him. But they wouldn't let nobody fuck with the X-Men at that time. And so to see their decline to where like I don't know what Marvel does with X-Men now, but they act like they don't exist or something. But
the Uncanny X-Men, that's the first comic book I had that I never broke continuity. Yeah. So I had it all the way up from issue 149. Uncanny X-Men 149 all the way up to like the 400s.
Oh wow.
So the reason why is then they brought in this one dude, I can't remember his name, it pissed me off. But like I said, what they were known for was their canonical nature in the Marvel stuff. Right. And so what they did was they just started doing then you see stuff like X-Men or all these other stuff they were showing that were they were just rewriting everything. Exiles, like they did Exiles. They did all these weird titles, and then Marvel started just like every I think we lost you. Every Marvel comic book at the time had like you know it's like it wasn't just the Avengers, it was the Mighty Avengers, right? They all had their subtitles, and then they started or not the Mighty Avengers, I can't remember that. Absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, but yeah, the X-Men were just they just pissed that away.
Which is a shame because they were always my favorites, and like it's to a point we haven't had an X-Men game in two console generations basically.
Yeah. Oh, did we lose Sega Man? I'm sorry, guys. Okay.
I guess that's a sign.
Yeah. No, I know we're running a bit long. I'm glad Sega Man brought that up because the Black Friday stuff we actually wanted to talk about.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, but we can call it a podcast because I know we were. How long have we gone? Like, cool, man, it's almost 4 hours.
Right.
I just want to say I do apologize, guys. I had something going on with my son, so I had to take care of it.
That's no biggie.
Yeah, so I couldn't. I had to get that ticket. Yeah, Mr. 501 Blues. Good job, Fireballs. Yeah. But yeah, I had to actually take care of something with him, so I couldn't be on there. But I definitely was listening to the podcast, man. You guys made some really good. I was really wanted to jump in on pop culture stuff, man, because you guys are saying a lot of great stuff. But yeah, go ahead, Unlimited. Go shout yourself out, dude.
Yeah, that's right, man. It's Unlimited Production. That's where you can find me on my channel, and I do my own show, The Unlimited Truth, that comes whenever the truth is needed. Other than that, man, I know I was running a little late, but it was still a great show hanging out with you guys on this Black Friday edition.
No, dude, you know what? I appreciate you coming on. You know, me and E-Rock we were talking about it earlier and stuff like that. The reason I do my channel, I'll just say this now. One of the reasons I do my channel, man, is you know, I just feel like we just don't have the representation, and to get stuff off my chest. But definitely, dude, I appreciate all your videos and what you guys do, especially you, bringing the truth out there. It's very important. I mean, to be honest with you, dude, I was ready to pass this baton. Right, because you know we're all busy. We have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But look, we have nowhere else to go. If you're a true Xbox fan, dude, you can't. There's no, you can't go to IGN. There's nobody holding it down. You know?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's true, man. Especially nobody with a large platform that's just unapologetically Xbox the way they are for every other console.
Yeah. and you know, at least the guys in our circle, and especially I know with you, man. I mean, I appreciate that. I appreciated that the most, man. Is just that we don't tiptoe around stuff, right? We might not even agree on certain things, right? But what it is as long as we all speak the truth, which is what we do, and
Yep.
we speak our truth and we speak the truth when it comes to gaming, pop culture, any of that kind of stuff, right? And a lot of this stuff isn't just based on what we read or what we heard or what the news says, man. It's basically from either experience, right, or we're around people that are in the know.
Yep. And then, you know, we come to our own conclusions.
It's like just like you guys were saying with the Gotham Knights. The only reason I haven't picked up Gotham Knights is just that I'm just strapped for time.
Yeah. Well, you can find it for about $30 if you do pick it up soon.
Because the Tiny Tina thing, I was thinking about picking that up because I'm supposed to be playing with my daughter.
Yeah.
You know, but she got distracted by Overwatch 2, so I'd be kind of safe.
Mhm.
But she was playing that, dude. She loves that game, and I played it a little bit just to get my character started.
Right.
And she got distracted by one of the Bethesda games, but then she went. She's playing Overwatch 2, so I got some time. But I might pick that game up next.
Yeah. There's a lot of great games out there. You know, no shortage of games at all. You know, I'm gonna be spending my weekend, you know, playing a lot of games, enjoying my Xbox. Other than that, I think we got an Exile show on Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday is the Thanksgiving show, right?
Yeah.
I should be able to. What time are you guys running it? Do you know?
I think it's 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure what time that is over in Hawaii.
Yeah, so I usually 12 or 1. Right, that's
Okay.
my time. I know you guys do it in the afternoon for me most of the time. Yeah, I definitely wanna sit in on that one. I mean, like I'll be in the comment section mostly because I have my kids.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, but I definitely, like I said, man, you got all these people putting up all these videos and stuff, don't know what they're talking about. It's kind of sad, to be honest with you. And plus, we're strapped for time because I mean, after this, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna wash some dishes and I'm gonna go play Game Pass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was gonna chill and then jump back on Tiny Tina's Wonderland myself.
Oh, dude, that game is addictive, bro.
Yeah, I was blown away by how fun it was. Because I just bought it off a whim too. I saw it on the store. I was like, oh, this looked like it could be good. It turns out it's pretty great.
All right, man. So we'll call it a podcast, man. Again, thanks for joining. But yeah, the Wrecking Crew podcast will be back in 2 more weeks. Yeah, should be about 2 weeks because I don't foresee anything in my future. But who knows, man? We all get so busy. Shout out to the guys who did come in the chat. Sorry, I was running around. I really couldn't address anybody like I wanted to.
Right.
Thanks for Heba, E-Rock, Sega Man. I was hoping T Reaper would be able to come in.
Mhm.
But I do have the podcast open for 10 people, and we'll do the same thing in 2 weeks. But yeah, thanks, Unlimited, man. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Enjoy the rest of your week.
All right, man. Wrecking Crew podcast, we out.